I said your name is Toby.
Kunta Kinte. Damn! Steve! What'd I say about hitting so hard, man?
I'm sorry, are you all right?
You sorry? I'ma show you sorry, man. I'ma show you sorry, bro. I told y'all he's scared of me. Let me get up there. The Roots.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J. Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come to it that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray-cray, approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these cans tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, why the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music here with another episode of The Chop Shop. Hey there, Pure Butterfly Spirit. How you doing? Welcome in. Give me a 1 or 2 down there in the listening lounge or the chat room that some folks call it, if you can hear me loud and clear. If you don't mind, how's everybody doing? Friday. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. It's Friday. We might as well sit around and chop it up a little bit. Come on in, make yourself comfortable. Get yourself something to drink. Get your little wine, little cheese, whatever you got to do. Get yourself comfortable. A little bit later on, if the mood hits me, loud and clear, thank you there. What's up there, black and proud? Say it loud. We black and we proud. What up, player? How you living? Happy Friday to everybody, folks. I wish I could say it's a happy Friday, but I guess it is. I guess it is. But I got some disturbing stuff to show y'all today. You know, it's disturbing. Yeah, no, I keep telling y'all stop allowing these. Yeah, I know, man, and I'm gonna have to call this out today. That black and proud. I'm gonna have to say something about this today. Again, uh, there was a stream that Candy Cane Lane did, and one of the questions she was talking about was respect or forgiveness. I say when you forgive somebody, that just gives them an opportunity to fuck you over again. It ain't up for me to forgive you. Take that up with the man upstairs or whoever you believe in. And why I'm going to use this word forgiveness again, because the other day I did a stream about Karmello Anthony. Hey there, Candy Cane Lane, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. I did a stream about Karmello Anthony and the verdict and all other stuff. And I gave the Metcalf family grace. I said I understood the position that the man was in. I can understand him being upset. But until he opened up his mouth, I'm just going to go ahead and say this to you, Jeff Metcalf, if you ever hear this. From now on, sympathy is in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. Which one you want from me? And for all you folks that's run around here talking about Chud the Builder, got something for y'all too. Because there were some folks on some platforms that was defending this guy. And the last stream that I had also, some folks was asking me, why is everything about race? My question was, why when the racial part of it, the nastiness of comes towards black folks and brown folks and red folks and yellow folks, and I'm just using yellow just because of the colors of the rainbow. Why, when we say something about it, about what we have experienced, it now becomes victims blaming. It now becomes you're playing the victimhood. Well, I don't know anyone that was listening to this Karmello Anthony trial that called out Jeff, whatever his name, Austin's parents. Now we know why. When I said that I think that those two twins was bullies, now we know why, that my assumption was right about them. And talking to and listening to, as you'll see these folks on the screen here, Angry Man, Cellulite, Sharon Bracy, whoever this guy is up here. I don't understand how y'all can talk about Karmello Anthony in such nastiness, with such disrespect. Yeah, the kid did something wrong, but he is a kid. Let's not forget. He was 17 when he did this. If you think back to your 17-year-old mind, Cellulite, Angry Man, Sharon, Traded Truth Teller, and whoever this other guy is on the panel, did y'all make sound decisions at 17 years old? Or did you think he was full of bravado? Now, the only thing I will say about Karmello Anthony is, like I tell my children, discretion be the better part of valor. There's sometimes you put yourself in situations that's unwinnable. But I also tell them, you give people fair warning. I don't like being touched. From this point on, if you touch me, I'm going to consider that reason enough for me to defend myself. You have given them fair warning, and that's all you need. I was over listening to Cellulite's podcast over the other day, where they were saying some incorrect and unfactual things just to prove their narrative. One in particular, they were talking about the appeals process. Every person that gets convicted of a crime, every person in this country that's get convicted of a crime is entitled to an appeal, at least one. And from the information that we now know that's coming out from the people that was actually in the courtroom at this trial, We now know that Carmelo Anthony's team was ineffective. Defense team was ineffective just from the little bit of information that was leaked out. How do you go through a trial and not have one objection? Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's what's coming out of the people that were actually in the courtroom, that he might have objected to one thing. And folks thinks when you're objecting to something, you're just being petty. No, that's just to let the judge and the jury and everybody else know there's a reason for this to question it. The judge might overrule your objection, but at least it's noted. He was not a public defender, Brad. Here it is with more of this business of coming in here with bad information. The lawyer was not for the Karmello Anthony family was not a public defender. Now, if you want to say that they chose the lawyer, you could have said that. Did they choose wrong? I believe they did. I believe they did choose wrong. Now, let me say hello to some of the folks. So what's up there, HT Ball One? Great show the other night there, my man. What's up there, Logical Assessment? How you doing? Brad, appreciate you dropping in. For you folks that it's brand new here for the first time, I don't ask you for your cash. I don't ask you for your dough. All I ask, like, share, subscribe. If you don't like it, at least, tell me why you don't. But don't leave me no nasty gram because you will get one back. All right? So with that, folks, now, again, I was over there in the clouds. Before I typed anything, I listened. I listened to everything that Sel had to say. I listened to everything that his panel had to say. I listened to everything that Raw B had to say. And a lot of things that y'all said up there was factually incorrect, easily fact-checked, like Texas Stand Your Ground laws. You don't have the duty to retreat in the Texas Stand Your Ground laws. I didn't write that statute. I didn't make it magically show up. I'm going to use this phrase that someone said to me the other day. I don't go around looking at you magically delicious motherfuckers running around here trying to act like y'all know everything, little fucking leprechauns thinking y'all know every damn thing that's going on. Because some of y'all don't. Y'all just talk out the side of your neck, hoping nobody's in there that's going to give you pushback. And when you do give pushback, y'all go find some of the most obscurest things to try and prove your point. But what you did actually is prove my point even further. What I mean by that is, even after I told them that, they went and found something that says, hey, the stand your ground is separated into two sections. There's the hard stand your ground and the soft stand your ground. Texas was one of them hard stand your grounds. I don't have to run if I feel threatened. Now, the question with that would have not solved their narrative is if I don't have to run, when do I feel threatened? After I'm getting my ass whipped? When do I feel threatened? I got to bang the table sometime, Garcia. My bad. This Yeti mic picks up everything, my man. For those of you that are in the podcast business, or if you're in the broadcast business, I would tell you the best mic that you can get. It's not loud. It's not cumbersome. It's not hanging out the way. You don't have this big thing hanging over your computer and all this other stuff. Go get that Yeti mic globe. Shameless plug. I wonder how I've been doing without it for so long. It works for me on my radio station, my podcast, all that other stuff. So go grab your Yeti mic. And for you ladies, it even comes in pink. The globe. Go check it out. What's up there, Freedom? Let me see. I don't know how to. I'll just call you Hugh. Hugh the Putz. I don't know what kind of name is that. Yeah, now, again, Hugh, I will say this for sure. Karmello put himself kind of in a no-win situation. Again, at 17, that's the point of it is he's 17 years old. He's 17 years old. I don't expect a 17-year-old to make rash decisions. I don't expect him to make some decisions that that would be not conducive to thinking with a clear head sometimes. Impulsive. Most 17 years old are impulsive. Just as Austin was. He was an impulsive teen. But y'all wonder where he got it from. He got it from his daddy. And it's funny to me, Sal, Angry Man, and all you other folks over there that's trying to tear this kid down farther than he is. Why didn't y'all show what Jeff Metcalf said about y'all? Because he didn't distinguish what black people he was talking about. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all folks know O'Shea Dukes Jackson. Came across my timeline, so I'm going to use that. My whatchamacallit. I also go over to the House of Hypocrites. He has something on it as well. But this is, I like to, where I saw that first is where I usually like to present. So I saw this clip over on O'Shea Dukes Jackson. If you want to, the Celebrity Junk, you can like, share, and subscribe if you want to. That's up to you. But let me take this off the screen. And let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I didn't want to sit through this guy disparaging us. I didn't want to sit through that. Okay? So I let O'Shea do it. Where's it at? Well, I grabbed the wrong one. But anyway, we're going to go. I was using two of them since I couldn't find the Metcalf one. I forgot to download it. I was looking at, forgot to download it. We're going to use Chud the Builder as the example. All right. Let's use Chud the Builder as the example. Yeah, here we go. Appreciate it, O'Shea.
Forgot about you, man. You see how they're doing you dirty, denying your bail, even though you got the money. They're running through all these different gymnastics to keep you stuck in there.
Since Chud the Builder has been arrested, his supporters are arguing for a certain level of parity. Not just the idea that he's going around and instigating problems with other races of people, most notably black, but the real issue is the ability to freely disrespect other groups without consequence.
It basically comes down usually at the end of the day, like only white men can't say these words. You know, it's not something that we're working on because it's unsavory or distasteful or not.
Now, my first question would to be to any white person, why is it so important for y'all to use that N-word? What's the attachment to it that y'all feel that they will say, hey, black folks use it, so why can't we? Isn't there other words that y'all could focus on? White folks use saltine cracker. White folks use high-hole cracker. White folks use crack the whip. Actually, that's where these terms came from. We didn't invent the N-word, y'all did. So what is this problem of now your argument being, hey, because y'all black folks say it, we should be allowed to say it. Say it. If you want to say the N-word, say it. This is free country. You have the freedom to say any damn thing you want. You don't need my permission to say the N-word. But understand that Constitution is not going to help you if you say it to the wrong black person. Freedom of speech doesn't save you. And when someone feels that they have been disrespected. You see what I'm saying? The Constitution does not give you the right, like Chud the Builder, to go around saying bad things about people and expecting no retaliation. So I'm asking all you folks that's over there piling on Karmello Anthony and his family right now, why aren't y'all piling on this shit here? Why aren't y'all asking white folks, why is it so important for y'all to be able to use that word? You already do. What you really want is for us to be all right with you using it. And that's not going to happen. That's what you want. Okay, I'll use my disclaimer. Of course, I'm not talking about all white folks. I knew it was going to come sooner or later. I'm not talking about all white folks. I'm reading this in the
Fit
chat
for
room.
public consumption. If you're
Hold on,
black,
hey,
you can put
hold on, Eric Light. I'll deal with you in just a minute, okay?
the word in a rap song 100 times, and it's okay. You can use it all day and night. Honestly, pretty much any race can, except for the white man.
So because black people are able to use this N-word, well then why are we being targeted for using the N-word?
Oh, my N-word, huh? What's up, homie?
And so they use this baseline logic to justify the unfairness that Chud the Builder is facing while he's currently locked up fighting his case. And let's assume that this thinking is right. There are other people online who use racist terminology. Nick Fuentes, you have Andrew Tate, who's half black. Other people do it. And even though it's racist and insensitive, they're not going live and starting troubles with people, which why this argument doesn't work.
And that's the answer there, Eric Light. That's the answer between what you're doing and what Chud the Builder is doing. If you are using the N-word with impunity, Eric, that's your business. One day, hopefully, well, maybe unhopefully to you, that you run into somebody that won't allow you to use that. Well, I'm not saying won't allow you, but that's going to take offense to you using that word. Maybe you hang around some black folks. Maybe you hang around some white folks. Maybe you hang around some Latino folks. That's all right for y'all to use amongst each other. I can't say why, but I know in this case, your reasoning, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric Light, your reasoning for saying the word is much different than Chud the Builder. If we got to slice hairs here, Eric, that's what I'll do.
This baseline intellect is also shared by other Chud supporters, most notably.
That does not deny you the right to defend yourself. You can say all kinds of crazy shit on the internet, but that does not mean that you can't defend yourself.
So besides Chud the Builder having the ability to use the N-word, he could also talk about this idea that he could use force.
Now, this was another thing that I heard over there on Cellulite's podcast, along with Andrew Tate, because it seems to me that's where y'all get a lot of your information from. That the judge won't bring this in, or the judge won't say this, or the judge won't do this. This is evidence. This is evidence against himself. This is self-inflicted wounds from Chud the Builder. Is wondering why the judge is putting so many stipulations on him getting out of jail. I was waiting for that right there because I knew sooner or later Robbie by the Ford, found on road dead. That's what Ford means. You do know that, right? Found on road dead. Robbie, I knew eventually that someone like you was going to come in here. So I'm going to hold this. I'm going to take this off the screen. And I'm going to show you, Robbie. I'm going to show you. Now let's go.
Let me tell you something about a phrase you've heard your whole life. Black on black crime. That phrase has been used to justify mass incarceration, to justify police brutality, to justify the dismantling of welfare programs, to justify everything from stop and frisk to the war on drugs, to the abandonment of black neighborhoods by every level of government. And the phrase is a lie, not the violence. The violence is real. The phrase is the lie. According to FBI data, 88% of black murder victims are killed by black offenders. That number gets cited constantly, right? But here's the number you've never heard. 84% of white murder victims are killed by white offenders. So what you got to say about that there, Robbie?
When it comes to killing each other, we're neck and neck. So now, Robbie, go and take yourself somewhere and get the fuck on up out of here. I'll revisit this a little bit later on because I know someone like you was going to come in here, Robbie. So I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to entertain you. If you came in here with respectful comments and commentary, you're welcome. But since you want to come in here with that, let the door hit you where the Lord split you. Now back to what we were doing, folks. Let me move this off the screen. Back to what I was doing.
Twitter. He can say, if you deal with me or if you come towards me, I can use force. And what you're trying to see Myron do is marrying the so-called free speech principle with the idea of I can protect myself if you bother me. So let's go back and analyze the whole assessment. 1, white people can say the N-word about black people. They should be able to go up to bother black people and say the N-word while doing it. They should be able to go live and harass innocent people who are.
Hey, Brad, you paying for the flight? Are you paying for the flight for our journey back to Africa? Because you know both of us going to have to be on it. Because that's where all civilization started at. So you're going to have to go back to Africa too. Because you and your ancestors are, by all, for all intents and purposes, immigrants. So let's go on back to, buy me that ticket to Africa. Give me a little plot of land. I'll accept your offer. Brad, are you paying for it? Because I wasn't born there, but I would like to visit Africa. I was born in Kentucky. Yes, you did. Brad. Now, it's time for you to go, Brad. But, you know, before I do, Brad, I'm going to give you something special. Hold on, Brad. It's time for you to go, Brad. But I'm going to give you something special. Probably somebody that you could relate to. I let this guy talk in the voice that you're probably used to, okay? Hold on a second, Brad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on. Tell this sumbitch to walk the fuck out right now, or we done for the day. Go on. I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go.
See you later, Brad. Go find someplace else to hang out at. I'm sure there's a Klan rally near you that you can go hang out at. Okay? You're like this Chud the Builder. You folks like to come up in somebody's faces. Thank you to Trinity. How you doing? How you doing? You like to come up in folks' faces talking that shit and expect no repercussions. Well, the only repercussion I can give you here is to kick you out of this chat room. But I bet you wouldn't go anywhere else. They call a black man an ape. And it's funny how y'all compare black people to chimpanzees. Well, let's look at that for a minute. Do y'all consider that an insult? Because if you look at how you rank things to intelligence, there's only one thing that's higher than there's only one set of people. Well, let's just go ahead and say it. Only humans outrank the great apes when it comes to intelligence. And it's been shown that some of the great apes can solve problems quicker than y'all. Okay. So to consider yourself, like when he says chimping out, you the real dummy.
Not bothering anybody. And if black people get hostile, they should be able to go onto their Twitter and talk about, I will kill you if you bother me. That's the basic logic that we're using today, guys. But stick with me. Let's go back to the Myron debate.
No, sir. Octopuses and dolphins are like 7 or 8 on that intelligence chart there. What's your name there? JJ? IJ? IJ boy, yes, they're about 7 or 8, but we'll get to that. Just hang out there. I'll show you. I don't say anything that I can't prove. So just hang out there, my man.
This is what he's trying to say with DJ Academics. But Academics would challenge that thinking.
You don't believe that his previous behaviors and tweets will come in at all?
No, because what's going to happen is the prosecution's going to try. The prosecution's obviously going to try to put it in.
Before Academics could even get his words out, he was like, no! His past tweets will not have any harm against him because that's the law. The prosecution will try to bring that up, but that's the law. Here's my minor criticism. Myron may have worked as a federal agent before, but one thing that he is not is a licensed attorney. And even if he was one, he would not be a licensed attorney in Tennessee. Myron does not know criminal law. He's not a prosecutor. He's not a defense attorney. The one thing I hate about content creators is that sometimes we try to act like we know more than people who are in those actual professions. But this is what happens when you listen to Myron.
And that's an absolute great point right there, my man. Sometimes you content creators think y'all know more than the actual people that do the job. In this case, I'm not saying that Myron was not a law enforcement officer at one time or the other, but for him to scream at the top of his lungs and saying that they might try to bring this as evidence against Chud the Builder told me he don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Of course they're going to use that against him. Of course. See that man that's standing up there right now? Guess what he's about to do?
Posted things on X, made other videos on X on what his intent is. For instance, on May 4th of this year on X, he posted, "Keep encouraging your fellow blacks to assault me. When you see a chimp with their brains blown out on the timeline, just know y'all did this to your own people."
Damn!
Not only did the prosecution do exactly what Myron said, it looks very, very bad. They've looked at all of his past tweets and now they're using this against him. And then
2016, this is 6 days before this event. Chud the Builder posts on X, "I will defend my life with legal."
Okay, folks. Hey there, Atlanta. How you doing? I want y'all to pay attention to Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder is about to get his fuck around and find out moment. Watch his eyes when this prosecutor reads off his own words. Watch at the look of defeat that comes across him. Washes over him. Keep watching.
"If lethal force, do not approach me with intent to threaten bodily harm." And then he posts another response to himself. "Series finale is dead chimp on the pavement and you monkeys rioting when I walk free. Stay tuned."
I mean, look at Chud the Builder right now. Doesn't he look very defeated? I mean, where is Myron at to help him out? And stop the show. Guys, can anybody find out if Myron donated any money to Chud?
Okay, you came in right in time there, Hammers. Where your money at? And why would you want this guy walking around our streets? I thought, aren't you for law enforcement? Aren't you for good? Aren't you for the standard, upright citizen? Did you just not see what Chud the Builder was posting on his X accounts? So why would you want someone like that walking around your neighborhood? Why would you want someone like that around you? There's only one reason what you would think you would want Chud the Builder out. It's because you believe in what he's doing. You don't see any problem in what he's doing. And before you get rude, before you get obnoxious, I can tell you what you can do. You can get the hell out of here. Where you at? So let's move on.
The Builder? I bet you he didn't donate anything. But But it gets more interesting.
The state of Tennessee now says Dalton Etherly had no business being at the courthouse that day. They say he had a hearing earlier that day around 9 a.m., but Etherly didn't show up and a default judgment was placed against him.
That means a bench warrant. Damn, the default judgment, that means a bench warrant. So why was he not picked up at that time? Again, so many of y'all Chud the Builder fanatics, like the one that just kicked out of here, said he had a reason to be at the courthouse. You damn sure he did. But he was 4 hours late. So guess what? That's just like not showing up. And then who goes to a courthouse knowing that there's absolutely metal detectors and they're not going to let you walk into a courthouse with a weapon of any sort? Did he have plans to go into the courthouse? Was he planning on taking a gun into the courthouse? Or was he just there to fuck with somebody? The answer is obvious. He was not there to go to court because he had the opportunity 4 hours earlier to go handle his business. But instead, he came to court and did what? The first black person he saw.
Etherly then showed up some 4 hours later, just moments before the shooting that took place around 1:15 p.m.
Now, Chud the Builder was supposed to be at court that day on May the 13th. Too bad Chud the Builder got to court 4 hours late and just didn't show up because he's irresponsible. Now, had he had shown up to court on time,
you can call it karma, you can call it fate, but what you can't call it is he's not in the where he's supposed to be. If one or the other, if he had been to court, he might have been able to go home, do what he needed to do. But since he did not show up to court, he was supposed to have a bench warrant placed on him within 72 hours, I do believe, of a bench warrant, depending on what the bench warrant is for. Somebody should be showing up at his door to pick him up. So rather he shot somebody, or rather this bench warrant was going to pick him up, Chud the Builder was going to jail within 72 to 48 hours. Either way. But y'all don't report that. Y'all will run around and say this man had a reason to be at this courthouse and leave out all the actuals and factuals. Cell, CT, Be Brave. First Amendment, huh? Well, you also got other amendments. You got the right to remain silent. Anything you can say and will be used against you in the court of the chop shop.
then maybe this wouldn't have happened that day. I'm pretty sure it was bound to happen eventually, but it most likely wouldn't have happened that day. The issue is he was irresponsible and he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Instead, you went to the courthouse to basically do this.
He immediately walks right in front of Mr. and Mrs. Fox, and now we don't have audio yet of it, but he stops right at Mr. and Mrs. Fox, and what can only be assumed is starts his live streaming right there. The same thing he does, approaches the first black people he can see.
So let's understand it better. You're supposed to go to your own court case. You decline to show up, which means that you don't even respect the law. You then show up to the courthouse when you want to and then start trouble. And then these same guys say that black people are the problematic race. So those people who
got him. Got him. We're problematic, huh? One of y'all heroes, every rule that he was supposed to follow according to the laws of the state that he was in, he said, fuck it. Because you know what? Some of y'all folks believe y'all got a right to. Some of y'all really believe y'all got a right to do anything, say anything with no repercussions. Like my man was saying earlier, yeah, he used the N-word, but he knows where to use it. And he know, somebody else said, if you use it around me, trouble, trouble. But let's go back to this. Check this out. As you said, you always hear these people talking about as black people always causing the problems. So let's pick up right where we left off at.
Points. Only 4. That's the entire gap between the two rates. Most violent crimes in America, across every racial group, happens between people of the same race. This is not unique to black people. This is how violent crime works in every country on earth. People hurt the people they live near. People hurt the people they spend time with. People hurt the people they know.
Notice, she didn't say in the United States of America. She said on earth.
Technical term for this is intra-racial violence. And in this country, it's almost the same rate across racial groups.
Now, let me ask you something. How many of y'all ever heard of that? Give me a 1 or 2 down in the listening lounge. If you ever heard, one's meaning, yes, you've heard of intra-racial violence before. 2, all you heard is interracial violence. Because there is a big difference. It's so much of a difference is that the argument that happened about black on black crime should be over with. It should have been over with a long time ago. Because you commit crime to those who are next to you. Crime don't care. You think that if you could go dig up some of the people that was unalive, and I hate using this word, that was summarily killed by somebody else, do you think they give a fuck what color they were? "202 Watford found on road dead. I thought I got rid of you. What do you mean by that? What am I keep waiting on? What am I waiting on? See, this is what I'm talking about. Folks like you, what am I waiting on? You're coming in with these standard threats of what? What? I bet if I saw you in real life, you'd probably be quiet as a church mouse. You'd be probably quiet as a church mouse, wouldn't you? Now, let me go ahead. That's what it says. Keep waiting. Keep waiting for what? That's what I'm asking you. Before I get you out of here, I'm gonna give you a chance to explain your thoughts because I just screenshotted this, by the way. So what are you talking about? Now, since you don't want to answer, get your fucking ass up out of here. Ain't got time to play with you. Now, who's next? Garcia, that's not the point. That's not the point. That's the point of you using the term black on black crime. That's the point. You're still missing the point. You're using black on black crime like it's synonymous with all crime in America. Like soon as you say it, there's no such thing as white on white crime. Did you not hear this young lady just now? Let me replay it for you again, Garcia, because this is the point. Sometimes y'all hear to listen, but don't listen to hear.
People hurt the people they spend time with. People hurt the people they know. The technical term for this is intra-racial violence. And in this country, it's almost the same rate across racial groups. So why have you never heard of white on white crime? Because
this is my point. This is my point, Garcia. This is my point. That's why I'm using it. This is my point. The point of it is so many times in the political sphere and sometimes okay, with these last 2 trials that we know about, what was the main focus? Race. And every time someone said something about race, the moniker black on black crime always comes out. Jeff Metcalf says it several times in his diatribe about why he don't like black people. So that's my point. I'm not saying black people don't commit crime. What I am saying is stop using the word black on black crime without using white on white crime because they're synonymous. There's only a small percentage points between the two stats. Not enough to where we can have these big symposiums about black on black crime.
Because that phrase was never built to describe a phenomenon. The phrase was built to describe a population. Black on black crime was popularized as a media frame in the 1980s, during the Reagan administration's war on drugs. It allowed politicians, journalists, and police departments to talk about violence in black neighborhoods without ever having to talk about what happened to create those neighborhoods, right? Redlining, underfunded schools, job discrimination, the deliberate destruction of black economic infrastructure, the flooding of black neighborhoods with cheap heroin and crack, while the same drugs in white neighborhoods were treated as a mental health crisis. Every time this country has had to confront systematic violence against black people, police shootings, voter suppression, mass incarceration, the phrase black on black crime gets pulled out. What about—
Is she wrong? Every time. From the Reagan era, that's when this black on black crime started. The war on drugs and black on black crime. You didn't hear of black on black crime before Reagan. Reaganomics started this shit.
Chicago? What about black kids killing each other? Why are you not protesting that? Those questions are not asked in good faith. They're designed to deflect, to redirect attention away from the systems being protested and onto black people themselves. You don't hear that same question when white people commit violence against other white people. Nobody says, what about white on white crime in Idaho?
What about it, Sal? What about it, angry man? I heard none of that last night. And y'all going to tell me you're going to hear it a little bit later on. I heard none of that. There's no crimes in Idaho. I don't know too many people that live, black people that live in South Dakota. There's no crime in South Dakota. Matter of fact, where Charlie Kirk got alive, you couldn't find a more whiter place in the United States than that. There's no crime there. Again, people do crimes according to who they live near or who they're with or what they're around. Yeah, of course, there's some mitigating circumstances there. There's some people that go on crime sprees all across the country. Bonnie and Clyde, y'all made them to be heroes, legends, but they were common thugs. They were thieves. They were murderers. That idea of they robbed from the rich and gave to the poor. You need to go check out the real Bonnie and Clyde. That glamorous life that y'all see on Hollywood that they was robbing, living up in hotels. No, they lived like animals. Washing in streams. They couldn't stay in hotels because everybody knew who they were. They couldn't. They had to live in their car. But y'all made them out as authentic American heroes.
The topic is white nationalist violence. The question is never asked of white communities because the phrase was never built for them. There is no such thing as black on black crime in the way the phrase implies. There's just crime. And there's a country that built a media frame specifically to make black communities responsible for the conditions imposed on them. White on white crime exists at almost the same rate, but you've never heard the phrase, and that alone should tell you something. Let me tell you something about a phrase you've heard your whole life.
You've heard it.
Black crime. That phrase.
So again, please excuse me when I hear you Cellulite, Angry Man, and all these other ones talking about the hood. Talking about if there was no crime in the hood, talking about Karmello Anthony was this, Karmello Anthony was that, or if your folks moved out of the hood and all this other stuff. Crime is crime. Has no color, it has no face. It is crime. I don't think anyone that was robbed, unless, especially if they were unalive, unless you could bring that person back and ask them, do you really give a damn what color person that was that shot you? The only reason they would care is if they survived it and they asked them, do you know what the person looked like that shot you? Do you know what the person looked like that stabbed you? I think that was the only time they would be concerned. Wouldn't you?
Phrase has been used to justify mass incarceration.
Not let today pass without honoring this guy. This is Charles Sumner. In 1856, he was almost beat to death with a cane at his desk in the Senate by another congressman, because what had he done? He had criticized Southern slavers. He was.
Now, again, this might be some new information to y'all. We all holler about the Civil Rights Bill during such a time, but do y'all know the Civil Rights Bill should have been passed 100 years prior to that? Go look up who Charles Sumner was and see how many places in the United States has this man's name attached to it.
So beloved by Black people that when he was on his deathbed, Frederick Douglass and a whole delegation of other Black leaders came to visit him. And from that deathbed, he turned to another congressman and said, "Do not let my civil rights bill die." That bill outlawed discrimination.
Now, there's the news clipping, so no one can say, you just made that up. No, that's not AI. You can go to the Library of Congress and you can find this. Unless the Trump administration tried to erase it. You could find this to where it says that they was trying to enact a civil rights bill 100 years prior. So it took the United States of America 100 years after that. A man was damn near beat to death by a cane. But we got the problem. It's black on black crime. We got the problem.
Against Black people in public accommodations. The Supreme Court would strike it down, and it would take another 100 years for us to get the civil rights bill.
And here we are back at that 100 years, and guess what the Supreme Court is doing? All those things that Charles Sumner wanted at those times, guess what the Supreme Court is doing? Sucking it up and wiping it out. Am I wrong?
Would do the exact same thing. And when he finally did die, Black people who had gathered in front of his house wept and moaned. If you want to know how to be an ally, be like this guy.
Now, if, like my man says, if you want to be an ally, be like this guy, because some folks have come in here. I do believe it was May. May came in here one time with the discussion. Well, what do you think? What can we do? Be like Charles Sumner. That's an ally. Be like that man. That's your answer. Now, this next clip, folks, again, 2 trials. One here in South Carolina, where we saw Daniel Child get acquitted. Another trial in Texas where we saw Karmello Anthony found guilty, sentenced to 35 years. Probably do 17, 18 with good behavior. He might be home in 14. But now, here we having to deal with this thing of people calling to boycott Asian stores. No, the original boycott was to boycott Daniel Child's store. Listen, just let her talk.
Ask me what my thoughts are on Chud the Builder, aka Little Bitch Boy in a Grown Man's Body, and here are my thoughts. What's interesting aren't his insults calling Black people chimps, it's how ridiculously uninformed he and the rest of you racist fucks are. Can you imagine trying to degrade someone by comparing them to one of the most intelligent species on Earth, thinking you're the more superior race? Let's set the record straight with facts. When scientists discuss intelligence in the animal kingdom, here's how animals are typically ranked by intelligence. 1. Humans. 2. Chimpanzees and other great apes. 3. Dolphins. 4. Elephants. 5. Crows and ravens. 6. Parrots. 7. Pigs. 8. Octopuses. 9. Dogs. And 10. Rats.
Did you get that, IJ? IJ boy? Did you get that? You asked the question. So let me replay for you one more time, sir. Now you know.
Dolphins. 4. Elephants. 5. Crows and ravens. 6. Parrots. 7. Pigs. 8. Octopuses. 9. Dogs. And 10. Rats.
So your dolphins are in the middle, and your octopuses is damn near at the bottom. Not to say that their own octopuses are quite intelligent. That's not to take anything away from them. But there you have it. Let's move on to that. Let me see this. Let me see. I wanted to skip over this because I'm tired of talking about Chud the Builder. Let's go to this one. Now, Sal, the entire time I heard you speaking about Karmello Anthony and his family, why didn't you go through the news and pull up something like this? I did.
The numbers disappeared almost instantly, and the chimps correctly remembered where they were. Not only did they succeed, in some tests they outperformed adult humans. Meet Ayumu, a chimpanzee whose short-term memory was so exceptional that he outperformed adult humans in memory tests.
So when y'all sit over in these panels talking about Chud the Builder is insulting black people by calling us chimps, understand there's some chimps that's smarter than y'all. At least one. Bubbles wasn't no joke either. So the next time you holler about chimping out Chud the Builder, shut the fuck up. Okay, let me move on a little bit farther here. This is the one I wanted right here. This one. Let me make sure I get it right. This one right here. This goes to the Asian community. I want for all my Asian brethren, my Filipino brethren, my Laos brethren, all you folks from that far east part of the world. Listen to this.
Boycotting Asian business and spreading more Asian hate. You black people with your black fatigue, okay? And what your people call you. Yeah, not my words. Those are your people.
First of all, your people words? Girl, fix your grammar. Ladies and gentlemen, this clan-servative is Monica. Momo for real. Momo wants people to support Asian businesses by standing in front of the camera, screaming racial slurs at black people. Congratulations, Momo. You're the poster child for the I Got Picked fan club. Here's what people like Momo, who confuse a wedding ring for a race change, never seem to understand. The moment some people get their citizenship papers, they wrap themselves in the American flag, start lecturing everybody.
Wow. And that's the point that a lot of us, you see, sometimes you'd have to go and get screenshots or videos of people that look like you to repeat the very same thing we've been telling y'all for a while. Just because you get a wedding ring or a wedding band or a job, that does not mean that you are accepted by that community. Because it's chance they get, as soon as they get, if there became a reason for them to start swooping up Asian folks, believe me. Matter of fact, we already had that at one point in time, didn't we? Those Japanese internment camps. You think back then, if was it hard to tell between a Chinese person or a Japanese person? You think the average American back then gave a fuck? Hey, Shar, how you doing? You think that? I don't think so. I'll let my man finish.
Else about America, and suddenly they think they're qualified to rewrite history in this country. The problem is they skipped the history lesson. America didn't become more inclusive because people in power woke up one morning and decided to be nice. Every right enjoyed by immigrants, women, LGBTQ people, Asians, Latinos, and countless other communities was fought for by generations of activists who challenged discrimination, segregation, exclusion laws, and white supremacy. Black Americans paid an enormous price in that struggle. That is history. You should be grateful to them you have your rights as an immigrant.
And that's all I need to say on that. The fact that you come over here, anyone, from an immigrant country, especially for those countries that as they say, the brown countries, and start spouting this type rhetoric, you're part of the problem. And that's all need to be said about that. It is what it is. Divide and conquer. Because there's a long-standing history of black folks and Asian folks getting together. I think you could go to I lived in Vallejo, California. Vallejo, California has a huge Filipino population. Never had a problem. San Francisco is a huge melting pot. They got everybody living over there. Oakland, everybody. You got all different shades and colors of folks living on the West Coast. Never had a problem with it. Never. Let's move on to the next clip. I forgot he was long-winded. This one. Let's do this one. Now, again, folks will come and say that black people are the most violent. Well, here it is, folks. Just this past week, this guy decided that he had nothing better to do with his time. Let Godfrey tell you.
To get an AR-15 with armor on to shoot at a black family that was celebrating a person's grandparents' birthday. But here's the kicker. This guy came with an AR-15 and armor, of course, never play fair. But then he got shot. He got pew-pewed. Good, because one of the people in that black family had a gun also. Ain't no fun when the rabbit gets the gun. That's what it is. And I don't even like guns. I don't like any of that. But I'm glad that a lot of my friends are trained in that. And that's what we're going to have to do.
Some comments that were left on my Instagram page. Dear black people, please stop stealing stuff and chimping out. Oh, and please change those smoke detector batteries. Ain't no one, I repeat, no one.
Okay, you got us on the smoke detector. Okay, whoever put that comment, y'all. All right. You got it. That was funny though. The smoke detector. I'm guilty of that from time to time.
Trying to be poo color. Not a damn white person, or black for that matter, wants to be dark as you mud puddle. Oh, and I love this one. I didn't think a single person in the world cares what a black woman thinks. It's time somebody comes to me and says that it's not about race, or that I'm making a big deal about race, or racism doesn't exist, I am going to show them this video.
Right.
I have spent years.
And that's all because that's the point of me showing this video. This wasn't solicited comments. This lady was minding her own business, doing her thing. And this was the comments that was put in, and she had the grace and the decency to at least black out your names, redact your names. Whereas some folks would have left your name up there. This is who you need to go see. That's called giving people grace, like I tried to give Jeff Metcalf. But you see, when you give people grace, when you forgive people, you see what they do.
Building a platform centered around travel, culture, and global conversation. But what is disturbing is how quickly disagreement online turns into racism and vitriol, especially towards Black women. There are just racial slurs and stereotypes and hateful comments from people hiding behind fake profiles and anonymous accounts. But one thing about me is that I'm not going to pretend that these comments do not exist. In fact, I think it's actually important to leave a lot of them up because people should see how comfortable others have become saying these things publicly.
That's the point. You folks are comfortable with it now. Way back in 2015, 2016, about 10, 11 years ago, did a little stream long before all this was popular. All these different, the super chats and all this was popular. Doing a radio stream. So I said, if Donald Trump wins the presidency, racism is all dormant, but all he's going to do is pour water on it. And you can see for yourself. You can go to the FBI crime statistics. The number one threat in the United States right now is right-wing white supremacists. Hey there, El Boogie. How you doing? Welcome. Always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you very much.
Let me be clear. They're not going to silence me. If anything, they make it even more important for me and others like me to keep speaking honestly about things that we experience in the world and the world as it currently exists. So trolls, keep trolling and engaging. Just don't be surprised if you get blocked.
Yeah, that's it. Just don't be surprised, trolls, if you get blocked. That's all. That's all. Now let's do this last one here, and then we're going to go to our main event.
Me and my house, we believe in what the ancestor Ida B. Wells told us. We think it's relevant for today, but spread the word about this and be cautious, y'all. Their evil is just it's rising up again. You know, it's always been here. It was a little bit more hidden, but they're more emboldened with it now. Keep your family safe. Y'all, this story that I'm about to share with you out of Leesburg, Georgia, is why my husband and I go to the range. Y'all, on Sunday, June 7th of this year, an African American family were gathered outside having a family reunion. There were around 20 kids in the yard. There were elderly people there. There were people of all ages having a good time. Well, then this guy, Tyler Kinzer, drives up and starts yelling out of his window racial slurs, calling the family the N-word, you know, all of that stuff, and then he sped off. So the family say they just let him go. They did get on the phone and call the sheriff, but this guy later, a few minutes later, returned with an AR-15 and started shooting into the crowd.
Now I want y'all to think about that. He drove by first. All these racial epithets. The black folks didn't call him. They said, leave it alone. It ain't worth it. Ain't worth the effort. Let's not give him the energy. So since they didn't give him any energy, since they did not respond to his nastiness, he comes back with body armor on, with a long rifle, shooting at the crowd. Bad shot that he was. He missed everybody. What's up there, Chaos? How you doing? He missed everybody. But the mere fact of, think about this. He had to drive home, seething that he didn't get a rise out of this black family. These folks minding their business, having a good time at a family reunion. Multiple generations of folks there. Imagine how many generations of folks out of that family he could have took out if this white guy would have had a good aim. But there was one Marine in the crowd, salute to the devil, though, that did have a good aim. I don't know why you didn't. They train us. If you can't aim to that torso, headshot. But listen to this. This is what he does.
They said that the family members, you had 77-year-old people trying to hide up under cars, everything. The good thing is that one of the family members was a retired Marine veteran, and he was able to pull out his weapon, and he managed to shoot this guy in order to stop this guy from, this attack. The other great thing is that he did not hit anyone in the crowd. So they took him to the hospital, the paramedics and the cops, and later charged him with aggravated assault.
I want you to understand that there were several people in that yard. Several people. And all he got charged with was aggravated assault, not attempted murder. Aggravated assault. But y'all will come over here and we're going to visit the cellulite them in a little while and say that there's no such thing as a two-tier justice, that racism is dead. What did he get? Aggravated assault charges.
I think he needs to be charged with terrorism and a lot more than what they are charging him with.
Only thing I'm disappointed is that we still got to charge him. He should be dead. That's all I'm saying. The stars were shining on him that day. Because if that would have been me and a few other folks that I know, that trip to the hospital wouldn't have been necessary. The morgue would have been more like it. Think about that, though, folks. Black people minding their own business, having a good time. Not in 1918. Not in 1949. Not even in 1989. 2006. 2026, folks. Some white man, because he thought he had a right to, go home, gets a rifle, and starts shooting at people. All he got for it was some basically misdemeanor charges. Where the attempted murder charges at? So don't tell me about no two-tier justice system. I just showed you proof of it. Don't come at me with black on black crime. Because there's no such thing as that. Now let's move on to our, dare I say, listen, enough is enough. And you're right there. You're right there. I said bond servant. You're right. Folks, it really isn't, it is there a racial aspect to it, but I think in a lot of times, you know, it's perpetuated by our government. It's perpetuated by the people that's in office right now. What's this? 13 percenters, which I guess I don't know if that's a compliment. I guess that's what you're saying. What's up, brothers and sisters? They're random pipe. Why would you come here with it? Oh no, I won't know. I hope you're a plumber and just somebody call you out on random jobs. All right. Anyway, folks, let's go to our main thing. I was listening to Cellulite podcast yesterday. Again, a lot of things that they said I disagreed with, vehemently disagreed with. But what troubles me is after that stream, they had another stream. Someone tagged me in it. So I decided to take a listen to it. And this is what I ran into. Look at this. Look for yourself.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, that was fun.
That was word.
That's so look, Will, you see my point? You see my point?
So
I ain't gonna put that on Will.
No.
Hey, Sharon, I gotta steal that one, bro. Hey, that's stolen. I swear to God, I'm stealing that, bro.
I mean, hey, you know what? That's the perfect white supremacist KKK tactic, right? To disassociate and separate. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. It's almost like black people practicing Klan tactics that's been used against them.
It's exactly what it is.
I know.
Exactly what it is. You remember how on them old school movies where it was like slavery or whatever, and there was that one white person that was sympathetic to black people, and the rest of the people made him pick whose side are you on?
Facts.
And then he would have to do some messed up shit to somebody black in order to prove his whiteness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like I'm sorry.
That's a description of Will, though.
What's a description of me?
No.
What Angry Man just described is Will. He had to do something bad to a black person. He's talking bad about a black person.
Well, I don't know what went on before this, but it seems to me Sharon Bracey threw the first match on this. But is he wrong? Will, is he wrong? Because I remember there was a point in time, dear sir, that you was pretty much had Trump nuts in your mouth. Trump could do no wrong. It wasn't about being a conservative. It's what you said. And your quest to be a conservative. That's where we fell out at. When you started saying when you started regurgitating the talking points of white supremacists. And that's what Sharon is referring to, because there was a point in time in your illustrious YouTube career, you did just that. You felt that you had to say something bad about black people in order to fit in. The same scenario that your buddy Angry Man this nigga just said. But I'm going to let them shoot themselves some more. Listen, y'all. And if anybody wants to come up, let me do this. Anybody wants to join the panel? Let me look here. Let me tell you something. Don't come up here, not unless you plan on being respectful. The only thing you're going to hear, I'm not going to give you no warning. It'll take you about 10, 15, 20 seconds. Some of y'all might be a little bit longer before you realize you're talking to your damn self. Okay? But there's a link for any of y'all that want to come up while we review this.
That's crazy. So now
That was
Hey,
almost.
Will, I ain't with that one.
No. P Smurf. I need you to pay attention to it. And I'm glad that Sharon is doing it. I don't got nothing against him personally, but I'm glad that he's doing it. This has been, and not saying him, but even though me and him argued about this since a year ago, but this is what black people naturally do. When you do not stick with the black community, when you do not stick with the unspoken Negro contract, now you a self-hater, you a traitor, and all this, that, and the other, just because you do not agree with the state of degeneracy that they like to defend.
Yeah, I ain't with it. I'm
Absolutely
gonna say
the same way how Angry Man just brought up to the fact that when the white folks did it, they call them race traitors and word lovers and all that too. So it's not like it's only our culture that does this. When you go against your own people, is weird, and it is okay. If you're a white person, you go against. Hold on. So if you're white, hold on. If you're a white person. Because I was just joking around with you, but it seems like you want to take it to a serious conversation. So when white folks is
ooh, nigga, you can't run in there and start discharging rounds and talk about that. You were just joking with him. No, I wouldn't have took that. I would have took it the same way Cellulite did. No, sir, shots fired. Don't try and back up now. No, sir. That's what they say about you, Sharon. That a lot of times they say you'll come in throwing rocks and then hide your hand.
Going against the grain with white folks, they got called names as well because you're supposed to be for the team and work things in-house.
So I have a question. So then, based on that logic, we shouldn't be mad about none of the shit they did in the past.
All right, so dig this. I need you to understand something.
Don't do that. Wait, stop. Don't do that. Let that Negro answer that question. Because that needs to be answered. So basically, you just made a case that's what people are supposed to do. So since that's what we're supposed to do, since today black people are saying we need to stick with our own, we need to defend each other no matter what. So since that's the case, you just justified all the white folks' behavior in the past.
No, I didn't justify it. I understand it. And we need to start moving in a unit, right? So they are moving in the unit against us, whether they right, wrong, and different. They don't give a damn about being right. But for some reason, we got to always have the superhero Negro that we got to protect. We cannot just protect a regular young man that's doing good in school, save some lives and all those things. We got to throw him under the bus to make ourselves look like we are not pulling any race card or that we are being fair. Stop throwing ourselves under the.
I think I get what you're trying to say there, Sharon. Sometimes those run-on sentences make you lose your point. I think the point you were trying to say is why we gotta muddy up the waters in order to get someone to pay attention to us. Why we gotta throw our kids up under the bus for justice. Because white folks don't. But I said that, and a lot of folks say that. You know, white folks they don't put each other on blast like we do. You know, they don't. I'm not saying that to be facetious or anything like that, but I mean, just like this panel here, you'll see in a little while. This discussion is about to take a horrible turn, and you don't think that them same white folks that y'all trying to cape for is not watching this? You don't think that they're not taking this back to the camp and saying, look what we got here? You don't think they're not? Hey, what's up there, Letitia? How you doing? Always a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Bus for the illusion of looking like we're being fair.
Here's the reality that Negroes such as yourself love to pretend to ignore. You wouldn't have half the little bit of freedom you got if there wasn't a bunch of crackers that were so-called nigger lovers.
Well, hold on. Let me tackle.
So don't sit here. So don't.
And see, and there's the point. I'm not saying there were not abolitionists. There were not folks like John Brown. There were not folks like those. All of those. Of course they were. What's up there, DJ Torch? I mean, I couldn't have said it no worse than that. For him to bring that, listen, that's like calling. No. Listen, who started the system of slavery, Angry Man? So we're supposed to thank them for letting us out of bondage. We're supposed to thank the people that sat around for years and months and did nothing, for hundreds of years, and did nothing about slavery. What's up, Chris Jensen? Says, DJ, you aren't throwing anyone under the bus. Facts that murder is murder, no matter what color. You're absolutely right. I don't think anyone would want to go back and ask if they were unalive and give a damn about what person it was that took them out. Again, folks, I don't ask for your donations and all of that stuff, but all I would like you to do is, if you don't mind, like, share, and subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, leave me a nasty gram, but I'm gonna give you one back. All right. If you don't like the comment here, that's fine. I get more nasty grams than I do because, again, I try to come with some facts. I don't sit back and argue my feelings like these guys are about to do. They're not arguing facts anymore. They're about to argue feelings. And this was a dumbass comment that Angry Man just made just now anyway. But
don't sit here and try to act like where we're at today, we got just solely off the strength of black people.
A lot of it, yeah, we did. A lot of it that we did. There were a few, again, Angry Man, there were a few black abolitionists, but for the most part of it, black folks just said, fuck it. Maybe you never heard of all these different rebellions. Maybe you never heard of the Stoner Rebellion. Maybe you never heard of Nat Turner. Those are the things that are part of history that they won't tell you about. So to lead someone like you to believe that the only reason black people got out of bondage is through the help of white men, that's not true. Yes, they had a hand in it. They helped us, but those are the same hands that put us in it, sir.
We actually got help from other people that look different, that tried to look at shit balanced the way Will is trying to look at shit balanced.
That's true.
That's fine and fair that you want help from them. That's fine, but clearly
that's not what I said. That's not
what you're saying. You're saying that the reason why I'm doing it is to protect, and so we can get allies.
That's not what I said, and that's clever how you did that.
It's okay.
That's clever how you did that.
You are saying things.
That's not what I said,
and it's okay.
That's not what I said. Hey,
you want to repeat it? Go ahead and repeat that. You said, "Hey, because white people came in and helped us, you want to jump on today's side." That's why you want to jump on today's side.
Check this out, Sharon. I have a problem with supremacists, no matter what they fucking color is.
Facts.
That's a problem.
No,
yeah, but you're practicing supremacy by saying the statements that you're saying.
I got a problem with bigotry, no matter what flavor it comes into.
I learned to play by the rules.
No, you didn't learn to play by the rules. No, you didn't. You didn't learn to play by the rules.
I did not.
Sharon, hold on, Sharon.
I'm talking. I did not.
Yeah, I got you.
Don't tell me you got me.
Yeah, but you're not repeating yourself.
You got me while I'm talking. Like that's not repeating
yourself.
That's not being in a conversation telling you got me to shut me up.
But you're not the only one talking though. You're not the only one talking though.
Okay, so let me finish talking and then you could talk.
Okay, land your plane because you're repeating yourself.
So when Angry Man told you to shut up, you didn't say anything, right? So it's okay.
He out of line, but he was right. Angry Man told you to pipe down, Cell, and you shut up. But Sharon, when I used to fuck with you, I told you these folks do not come around to agree with you. They come around to tell you you are wrong. And you put yourself in these positions, sir, by going over to their platform. As long as I was over there listening to Cellulite, as many times I heard him say, hit that link if you got something against me. No, sir. It's obvious you did not learn your lesson yet, because I see Angry Man and Cellulite on the panel with you again. What's up there, ABT? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome to. What you looking at? What you looking at?
Yeah, because I wasn't even here. I went to get my hat so I can get on camera, so I didn't even hear that. So again, Back to
You
this
didn't hear
whole
it. He was talking directly to it. You said, okay.
you're utilizing white supremacy from a black position because you want black supremacy, which is still racism. Because when it comes down to it, you are making the argument that the same racist white police officers was making when they was killing black folks. See, the truth of the matter is that you just can't admit that you're racist.
And guess what? The real house niggas are the ones.
Yeah, he did, Black Hawk. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did, though. I will say, Sharon, I mean, you held your own against him. This is one time I actually saw you sticking your chest out. So I can understand why you would go back over to your platform today and say, yeah, you dusted them off, because you really did. They had no real ammunition for what you were saying. I'll agree with you on that one, Black Hawk.
Who want to operate like white supremacists.
Facts.
That's the real house niggas, the ones who operate just like they slave masters operate.
Well, and that's what y'all did. That's why Angry Man. That's why I'm in your peripheral. Because everything, same thing that you said is what I see you doing with just pearly things. Remember that? When she said that slavery was this, you agreed with who? How many times, Angry Man, have you tried to, as white supremacists do, try to discredit black women's education by calling it, saying they only go to school for basket weaving? Isn't that something Charlie Kirk would say? Well, I can move it to your counterpart over here. Just a couple months ago, you was all up the Republican Party. Well, I won't say the Republican Party, MAGA's ass. So you like knee deep in the funk. Stream after stream of telling black people what was wrong with them. Remember? You called it the EBT streamers. Remember that? You over there saying that black folks was over on welfare more than white folks was. That black folks commit more crimes than white folks did. And all of that.
You can respond. See, this is the big problem. When y'all participating, utilizing the same racist tactics from the position of a black man to try to go against another black man just because you have a difference of opinion, you're no different from the damn racist that you say is so-called oppressing you. Exactly. That's the real big problem.
Exactly. That's a fact.
But please, by all means, let me know that your black supremacy is any different from the white supremacists. But also say that they're suppressing you.
It's a huge difference.
Please, by all means, you got it.
Okay, yeah, you could talk. Yeah, you could talk.
No, I go on mute. Go ahead.
In his feelings, so I'll talk. I dealt with it yesterday with niggas in the chat. Even as I'm having a conversation with the dude, what's the dude, Ashley? I'm up here checking him and schooling him on his behavior, and they still in the chat talking about some, look at Angry Man, he's so happy to be talking to a white man. You niggas in the chat, you ain't no different than crackers back in the day calling any white person that showed any type of empathy towards a black person nigger lovers. You ain't no different. That's why it's funny to me when you run around here acting like you can't stand white supremacy and white folk. How you can't stand them? Matter of fact, that do make sense. Usually people can't stand people they act just like.
Facts.
True.
You know, typically when it came down to...
No, that ain't true. If someone... listen, there's a whole lot of people that I have a difference of opinions with, but that don't mean I dislike them. To be quite honest with you, Angry Man and Cellulite, I don't know, or Sharon, I don't know either one of y'all well enough to say I dislike you. But what I can say, let me take that back. Angry Man, no, I don't like you. I know enough about you now to form my honest opinion to say I don't like you. I wouldn't fuck with you at no space and time in our life. Once I figured out who you were, there would be nothing about you that me and you would relate to. So yeah, I can honestly say I don't like you. Cellulite, I can honestly say I lost a lot of respect for you. Sharon, I'm still up on the up in the air about you. I to be quite honest with you, my brother, I think you're up just for the. I think you're just out for the clicks and views, my man. Because I saw something the other day. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You allowed PH Diva to kick your own cousin off a platform, off your platform. Where they do that at, Sharon? I don't give a fuck. If I was Brownsville, I'd never come back to your platform again. I don't care who you sit with side by side week after week, night after night. I don't give a damn. You're not going to pay me to kick my cousin off this platform. It is, Wonder Kid. It is. It is. It's, you know, it's like playing Scrabble. It keeps you intellectually sharp. When you say so?
White supremacy and the races that they was participating in, a lot of dudes had to gain acknowledgement by being racist themselves, or unless you wasn't considered white. To be considered a white man, you had to go out and either collect a black body, or you had to go out and you had to participate in some white supremacy. So,
not true. Not all white people live under that rule that you just said. You still could be a white man, and you still could be a Caucasian man. You still could be a brother. You still could be this. You still could be that. It's not required that you go out and kill somebody to be a part of the white race. And I'm using that with, quotation marks. It's only a select few of the white population that believes that they got to go out and do harm to another race in order to be accepted.
anytime that a black man, specifically, and I'm talking about a black man, anytime that a black man must go against another black man and use a position of white supremacy, that lets me know he's just seeking acknowledgement from the black community.
Yeah, so the issue is that you are that person you are talking about. Ooh. And that's the issue that y'all don't understand. You are the one that is going against a black man, a young man that was doing all.
Yes, indeed. There was several congressional hearings of just about what you said there, Colburn. Thunder Hammer Gaming. Yes, absolutely. A lot of these content creators were being paid. They were being subsidized to stream bullshit. I'm not saying any one of these folks on the platform were, but, you know.
All the right things. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything wrong but make a mistake. And yes, he should pay some kind of consequences for taking a life. Absolutely. 35 years is absolutely ridiculous for something of the situation that he was in. So you
okay, here we go again. This no disrespect, but who were the people of authority that told Karmello Anthony to leave the platform? You can't use the children, because there were none of those children at that track meet was in a position to tell Karmello Anthony to leave. They did not have that authority. And also another thing that will come out that some folks were saying that Karmello Anthony, that they said on Cellulite's podcast, that he was under school suspension. No, he was not on ISS. He was an active member. He was actively competing that day. He had reason to be there. Again, even after the trial, some of you folks still come with this narrative that Karmello Anthony should, because some kids told him he wasn't supposed to be there. Again, if you would have came up here, Ozzy, and said, did Karmello use discretion be the better part of valor, as I like to say? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. If you would have said that, we'd have been all right. But for you to come up and say, Karmello missed 15 opportunities to leave and didn't because he was too busy calling on other than 10. Pooh says, no. No. No, sir. But we don't need to rehash that. The verdict is in. And so now we're into the appeals process. Just from what I've heard alone in the last couple hours, there's plenty of reasons why this case will be appealed. Not saying they're going to win the appeal, but I think they have enough grounds for an appeal, even though the defense didn't make damn near any objections during the trial. I find that unusual.
Going out of your way to demonize this young man, and other people are celebrating. I don't know if y'all celebrate it, but other people celebrating this young man's demise. That's where the issue lies, and those are the things got to be called out. And we have to stick together as a people because they are sticking together.
I think if you just heard the guy that's on the screen, Sharon Bracey, speaking there, Colvin, and if you heard me speak, I never said that Karmello Anthony shouldn't be punished for what he did. I just said that the punishment that he received was kind of excessive. Never said that he should not be punished for what he did.
As a people. Now Karmello Anthony's father's coming out calling everybody the N-word, and he's acting a fool now, right? It's understood. He's also friends with the judge. He's friends with the prosecutor. We understand. Possibly even the warden is possibly related because they got the same last name. We don't have no idea. But what we do understand that Frisco is known for a certain thing, and we cannot keep having a blind eye to it and acting as if the law is equal for us.
Okay, cool. So I don't have no problem with you.
Okay,
and every other black person.
Okay, Ozzy, I'll say this before he started yapping. In Texas, the stand your gun law, you do not have a duty to retreat. That's the law. 39 states have what they call a soft stand your ground rule that you have to, if there's a way out of the competition, you have to choose that first. 11 of the other states say you ain't got to move. If you feel yourself threatening, or if you feel threatening, you ain't got to run. That's in Texas. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that is the law in Texas. How do you know that, Ozzy? Was you in the mind of those kids? You don't know what. I'm not saying he could have been in fear of losing his life, but maybe he could have been in fear of getting beat up. According to his, what we now know from his, what we heard from his father, we know now that these kids were bullies. And we know why. That because the apple doesn't fall from the tree. The Amazing Lucas told y'all that. Go over and check out his channel. That's the one clip that I forgot to upload here today. I wanted y'all to go over and check out what the Amazing Lucas said about Jeff. I don't, I'm getting tired of saying his name. But let's go back to this.
Person that want to protest, raise hell, whatever, because you feel like he was railroaded. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is I would love to know when you niggas.
Wait, yes, absolutely. And when you say that to these folks, Wonder Kid, when you tell them, well, Donald Trump did it. They celebrated when Nancy Pelosi's husband got beat up. Remember that? They celebrated that. They said he brought it on himself. But everybody got mad because the very people that Charlie Kirk was shitting on said, "C'est la vie. I keep shitting about you. I don't care about you. You got what's coming to you." See what I'm saying?
Niggas created a tribunal where y'all get to decide how the rest of us niggas think.
We decided that once they created their own.
You didn't decide shit for me.
Okay.
You didn't decide nothing for me. You don't get to see. Here's the problem. The whole reason that my forebearers and your forebearers fought and went through everything they went through is so that we could be free. part of that is being able to think for ourselves, being able to have our own opinions. So you can't go through that, and then after everybody done lost their life and bled and all of that, just for you to turn around and tell me that I gotta think like you just to be considered part of the group.
So let me go ahead and nip this in the bud right quick.
And that's the issue, is that you believe in a system that is called freedom, and it's been proven not to be. You are believing in something that's just not existing right now. We see time and time again, we are not judged the same way under the law. And when you go and act as if everything is equal lefts and rights, that's where it becomes disingenuous, and that's where it becomes a problem. They decided that they was going to go against us collectively, the majority of them. And we have to start making a decision who is on our side and who's not. We got to know who's.
And he's absolutely right. Again, Sharon, I got to give you that was I don't know if you thought about that, but that was pretty well spoken just now. Because throughout history, you're absolutely right. They decided that they didn't want to be amongst us. They decided that we weren't good enough for this. They decided that they didn't want us to drink it from water fountains. They decided that we shouldn't be going to school. They decided that this happened or that happened. They decided this. Black folks never separated themselves from white folks. Honestly, they decided to separate themselves from us. They still mad at the fact that black folks said, fuck it, we don't want to be slaves no more. They still mad at the fact that we're not going to allow you to just pick us up because of the color of our skin. The vagrant laws and stop and frisk is one and the same. It's just different eras. But white folks built those laws. They weren't aimed at the immigration laws. There was zero immigration laws for black folks until when? So who was the immigration laws built for? And I heard that, El Boogie. I heard that. Now that I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at a little bit more of Jeff Metcalf and his family. And I don't understand all the things that I hear Cellulite, a few of these other folks trying to heap on the Anthony family was actually going on in the Metcalf family. Broken home, alcoholism, mama fighting the daddy, the kids rebellious against the mother and the father. All of those were products of sooner or later. I know this might sound harsh, but sooner or later, somebody was going to get you. Hey, there's Genesis I Am. How she say, hey, sugars. Let's go.
The allies and who's not. And we could tell by the way different people's rhetoric is.
I would never want to be an ally to a group of people who dismiss basic human decency.
Now, why would I agree that Daniel Penny is a hero? Why would I agree to that? Daniel Penny, correct me if I'm wrong there, Ozzy, choked somebody out for words. So why would I agree to him? I think he's a coward.
And try to defend degeneracy. But let me go ahead and tackle something right quick. You said that we already know that the judge and the DA and all this, that, and the other is friends or have some type of association with the Metcalf family. Minister Dominique Alexander, the baby choking minister of justice, said, over the last few days, I have received countless messages, videos, screenshots, and clips regarding a photo that is circulating online. The images being used by some individuals suggest that Austin Metcalf's father, Judge John R. Roach, and Conley County District Attorney Greg Willis were together at a social event or party. After reviewing the image that is being shared in these viral posts, I can tell you that photo being circulated is not them. So let me go ahead and ask you right quick, and I'm glad that you did this, Sharon, so we can get your honest opinion right quick. When you look at this photo, can you tell me where is Judge Roach in this photo?
Why? Why are you asking me that?
Oh, I'm asking because you made the claim that they were friends or that they had some type of association. So this is the image right here in the top portion that said that Judge R. Roach and DA Greg Willis was in this photo. Let me ask you, in this photo right here in the top, where is Judge John Roach?
Well, Cellulite, again, see, this is the point that I have with you. You will go out of your way to defend these folks. Now, you have to understand something. Frisco, from what I understand, it's not a huge town. It's not a small town, but it's not huge. In the town that I live in the area that I live in, I want y'all to think, in the area that y'all live in, everybody think about where you live right now. And I want you to think about how many people that live in your area you see on a day-to-day basis, either at the gas station, the grocery store, the corner store, or if you have school-aged children, the school. So what would make me think that if all these folks lived in Frisco, that they would not at least run into each other at some point in time, especially if they've lived there and they have family and generations that have lived there? Why would it be so unfeasible, unfathomable that these folks know each other? It wouldn't be. But why is that? Why was that even brought up in this conversation? Regardless of whether they know each other or not, that has nothing to do with the trial itself, or does it, Sel? Because remember, we can go back to Maude Arbery because someone knew somebody. It took how many months for that footage to come out of them chasing that kid down and murdering him?
Right here, where is he?
It doesn't matter if I.
Oh, okay. So I'm giving you the evidence to go against the claim that you made.
Hold on, please. It doesn't matter if I could point out whoever. It doesn't matter. What matters
but is the person in the photo?
Okay, I hate to interrupt again, Ozzy. Yeah, if I was selling history courses, I would ask you to sign up for one. Okay, the Democratic Party fought against abolishing slavery. Those weren't the Democratic Party that we know today. We have to go all the way back a little bit in time to see actually where the shift took place, to where such things called the Southern strategy, to where the Dixiecrats was losing control. And what do? They decided to join the Democratic Party. They flooded the Democratic Party. So there was an actual switch of the Republican Party now being the new Democratic Party. You see where I'm getting at, Ozzy? There was a point in time that the Republican Party was the party of who? Lincoln. And the Democrat Party was who? The Dixiecrats. The folks that wanted to succeed from the Union. Those are the folks that you're talking about that did not want to abolish slavery, sir.
What matters is plenty of people that are friends and in cahoots with each other that don't have any photos together. I got plenty of friends. I have. Oh my God. I'm listening to you. Okay. You don't have to tell me what you're doing. Just do it. I have plenty of friends that I do not have photos with.
And again, he's absolutely right. I have plenty of friends that I don't have photos with. He's absolutely right.
These people are moving a certain way, and we cannot ignore the way how they are moving. Time and time again, we see the evidence of how these people are moving, and we just gotta call a spade, and as simple as that.
Yeah, that's exactly what a racist would say. Dismiss all of the evidence just so they can stick to a narrative.
Okay, I want you to read what L Boogie just put on the screen. For all of those that say the white folks didn't invent. Listen, no, of course, white folks didn't invent slavery. Of course not. Slavery was long before you even called yourself white folks, before you called yourself Caucasians. Slavery has been in existence since, what, mankind? Almost, not shortly after that. We know about the Romans. We know about the Greeks. We know about the Aztecs. We know about all these folks. We know about the Dahomies. We know about all these folks that had slaves. But we only know one place that had chattel slavery. Where's that at, sir? What built this country? Corbin? What built this country? Do you really believe that the United States of America would be the superpower that it is without the free labor that they received for 400 plus years. How many other years? They had a chance to end slavery. They had a chance to make black people as whole. But if I think somewhere in the Constitution, it still looks at black people as 3/5. Why was that even part of the conversation? We were whole when you wanted to come in and steal our women. We were whole human beings then. When y'all wanted to use our women for your sexual gratification. We were whole then. We were human then. We were whole. We were human then when we was fixing your foods. I couldn't have been a slave back in them days. Y'all would have read about me. I know a lot of folks say that, but nah, y'all would have read about me.
Point. You have the photo here, which disproves that they are not associated. As a matter of fact, they even gave Judge John Roach an interview where they asked him directly, do you have association or are you friends and or cool with the Metcalf family? He said no. So, but here's my biggest thing, and I'm glad that you did that, right? So we have a video. As a matter of fact, we don't even need the video. We have a body by the name of Austin Metcalf that is in the ground, and we have a video of a young man by the name of Karmello Anthony that stabbed Austin Metcalf. My question to you is: should this young man do time for killing Austin Metcalf?
Yes.
Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to ask you again. I'm sorry, not going to ask you again. Per the jury that was assigned to that case, they're the ones that made the judgment call that he deserves this time. Would you agree or disagree?
That they decided that?
Yes.
I don't know why you're asking me a rhetorical question.
Okay, Corbin, I'll respond to this when he says, no, there was no switch. Yes, there was. Go look up what the Southern strategy was. That's all I got to say. That's all I'm going to tell you. Now, that's far as you probably need to go. But if you want to take it farther than that, then there's little breadcrumbs and trails that will lead you from the Southern strategy all the way back to the Dixiecratic Party, all the way back to the Whig Party and all that other stuff, sir. So there is actual factual information to support what I am saying. They may not have used the word switch, but there is a definite change in the Southern Dixiecrats that's now what we now know as the Republican Party.
I'm asking because this. What I'm doing is I'm established that a basic commonality is we understand that everybody understands that when it comes to a jury of 12, they're going to make a decision whether you are guilty or you are innocent, right? Which race?
Okay, Isaac. Either you're young or you're crazy or you're just being a troll. You said settlers built this country. Which settlers? The Pilgrims? The ones that came on the Mayflower? What about the ones that came here with Christopher Columbus? Those settlers? Which settlers are you talking about? Or are you talking about the ones that was forced here? Those settlers that was forced to settle here? Is that what the ones you're talking about? Because certainly you can't talk. You're not talking about European settlers. Because again, if it had not been for the Indians, white folks would probably have not been in this country. They saved y'all. And what did they get in return? Blankets with smallpox in them. The initial winter that the Pilgrims came to this new world, as they call it, they would have not survived the winter if it had not been for the native people here.
Not have anything to do with it, but it's everybody that's on the outside of those 12 people that want to establish and inject race into it so they can have a narrative. That's typically what racists do. That's all the arguments that was being made during the Jim Crow era, during the era of KKK, during the time of the Civil War, during the time of slavery, all the way up until 2026. Black people are utilizing all of the talking points that racist white people were using to keep black people enslaved, downtrodden, and swinging from trees. So how are you trying to be any better than the racist white folks if you as a black man are trying to say that I am no good as a black man to the black community?
Don't you listen to these stupid motherfuckers?
The reason why is because I'm not on offense trying to do something to a group of people just because they look different. What I'm attempting to do is have defense, so this way we can have possibly in the future a fair trial, because this young man did not get a fair trial. And when people like you go ahead and push the rhetoric that you are pushing, that is towards what the word that you use in the white supremacist situation, that becomes an issue for us, because now we have infighting where we should not be infighting on a situation.
Oh, Corbin. Thunderhammer, I thought you would hit a little harder than that. You might want to go back to playing games, because this is not an arena for you, sir. This is not the place to come in here and just type anything. No, I was not. Of course, I was not back then during that time. Neither were you. Neither is probably 99.9.9.9, 100% of the people weren't back there during that time. But there are historical artifacts and records that could lead us back to that time. Do you know there's actual recordings of the first slaves that were free? Do you know those exist? And all you got to do is go into YouTube and type it in, voices of slaves. If you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe them when they said they came through and Master says we is free. And they just turned us out like cattle. Didn't give us nothing. Didn't tell us where to go. Didn't say where we was going. They just turned us out like cattle.
Like this, because the young man needs to have a fair trial. Whether he go to jail or not is irrelevant. What should be the conversation is about him having a fair trial, and us as the older black men having the goddamn bravery to speak up and say, no, this wasn't fair, and he needs a fair trial. It shouldn't be a jury of people that don't look like him, that don't understand things.
That's not how, excuse me.
I agree.
Hold on, that's not how that works. A jury of your peers does not mean jury of your race. Your peers is not your race. That's established by Cornell law. See, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to combat you with education, which is based in intelligence, not based in race. And that's the big problem. I don't have to bring a racial argument to you, because I'm only giving you the facts based on the law and based on the intelligence. When you
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
County, Frisco County in Texas, it's only 10 to 11% of black people that's in that county, which is majority white, right? So when they come down to the jury selection, that you had people who was using, you had the defense and you had the prosecution that was using strikes to disbar people from the jury selection process. And when it came down to it, there were people who said, I do not feel comfortable putting a young black man behind bars. And also, I'm a teacher. That was part of the qualifications to be removed. So
no. The only part that what you just said was true, that they said I'm a teacher, and I don't feel comfortable with that. The fact that I'm a teacher, the fact that I'm an educator, the knowing that I could put a child, I would be on a jury that would put a child behind bars. At least they were honest about it. Unlike some other trials, well, some folks will say, no, I just want to get on the trial. I just want to get on there because. But no, so I'm sorry. You're not educated, sir. Not at least as much as you think you are.
Again, introduce to me this racial element that did not give this young man a fair trial.
The racial element is that that 10 to 12% should have been people that look like him. That's what we have. That's where we have. That's where we have. I don't understand. I didn't interrupt.
Nigga, if you gonna fucking talk, nigga, stop with all the dramatic bullshit.
Okay, it's about to get real there, but I gotta say this. Mackenzie 8, the original natives were Asian immigrants. Who told you that?
I was trying to interject something. Jesus Christ.
But I don't give a fuck about what you're trying to interject.
I don't give a fuck what you give a fuck about, my niggas. Get out your feelings.
I'm not in my feelings. Shut the fuck up while I'm talking.
Then talk, nigga.
That's all. That's all. So shut the fuck up, nigga.
Nigga, you still saying shut the fuck up when you could be saying what you saying.
And you could be shutting the fuck up while I'm being prepared to say what I'm saying.
Shutting the fuck up so that you can talk about what you're supposed to talk about instead of saying the shit you saying now.
Vince, look at me. Look at me in the windows to my soul. Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain where there are no more fuck ups to shut.
My goddamn joke. And I like the fact that you got some Beijing, even though I'm in China, you got Beijing in your goddamn face. How funny is that?
That ain't what it's called. What is called?
Fuck your shirt, Sharon.
These are
I
grown
don't
men.
got no Beijing in my.
These are grown men, folks. These are grown men. These are grown men. Hey there, Sharice. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you very much. Mackenzie, the first free slaves were Republicans. The Republicans were the ones who fought to end slavery. It was majority Republicans that supported to give the voting rights to all. Yes, the party of Lincoln, you're absolutely right, which was the Republican Party, not the Republican Party that we know today, Mackenzie. That's all I'm saying. Hold on now, folks.
Beer with all them chemicals. Nigga,
I mean, I don't understand how you can complain about somebody who said they didn't get a fair trial when they admitted before the police officer even asked what happened.
Because they're not ready, Trey. They don't know where I'm from. I'm from the trenches.
You from the trenches, but you left America.
I ain't one of those.
You
from the trenches, but you left America.
It's me. Yo, Trey, it's me, bro. I know. I be cooking. I know.
To your point.
It's me, bro.
Get to your
It's
point,
me.
man.
Now calm down. So now get back to what Will is saying. With the whole, what I'm saying is that, so it should have been whatever the percentage is, he should have had that same percentage of his peers. It was lopsided dramatically. And that's why I believe he do have a really good case in the appellate court to use the Batson challenge because he didn't have that percentage, what you just pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
And also some people that was still a part of the jury, they were teachers. So again, like they used the idea of the teachers, the way how they excluded those people, but also they still had teachers on the jurors. So again, all I'm saying, that we need to be arguing for it to be fair, not to be lopsided. And
let's
lopsided.
Let's be fair. Let's be.
My goodness.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
Let's be fair. So let's be fair,
me, bro.
Let's
I get
be.
it.
No, because you're spewing a lot of misinformation. So let's be fair. According to
I don't know what.
According to the police report, during this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, "I was protecting myself." It should be noted I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. I asked him if he had any weapons, and he said,
Ozzy, which facts I don't like, sir? Which facts that we don't like here? Which facts are you referring to? That if anyone's put something actual and factual into the room, even I just agreed with Mackenzie when she said the Republican Party was the party that helped free the slaves. And I agreed with when I said the party of Lincoln, which is completely different from the Republican Party that we know today. So which part of that am I talking about? Folks, hold on. I'm going to let y'all listen to this. I got to take this call.
said no. I patted him down from weapons while we were walking along the fence, and I did not locate any on this person. I instructed the male to continue off the track. While walking him off the track, the suspect also said he put his hands on me. I then detained the suspect in handcuffed behind his back, and had him sit on the ground. Officer Reese arrived on the scene. I conducted another pat down on his person and then searched this person after he gave consent. You know what? Somebody has an airwave of something. I conducted another. I'm sorry. While the suspect's on the ground, I advised that I had the suspect. The suspect then responds, "I'm not alleged. I did it." So you have multiple instances of sputtering. I'm sorry. You have multiple instances where he himself have admitted to stabbing Austin Metcalf. You always want to complain about a fair trial, but this young man was speaking to police without the presence of his parent and without the presence of his attorney. But that's something that he admitted to. So where's the unfairness?
Where is
Yeah, he's gonna
the
start talking.
I don't understand. Hold on. I don't understand what misinformation I gave. That's number one. You didn't point out no misinformation that I gave just now at all. You started a whole new talking point. So I don't know what misinformation. So you was wrong on that point already with your premise. That's number one. Number two, nobody said that he did not stab the young man. So the misrepresentation is what you brought into the conversation.
No one said that Karmello Anthony did not stab Austin Metcalf. No one said that. No one that I know in the circles that I travel around says that that Karmello Anthony should not be punished for what he did. He took someone's life. Is that fact enough for you, Ozzy? Is that fact enough for you? No one is saying that, angry man. No one is saying that, cellulite. No one is saying that.
That the percentage of people that lived in his county was not a part of the jury. So you said it is.
Hey, there's Ahara. How you doing? Great to see you. Welcome in.
Black folks that was a part of the jury does not represent that county. Idea that they got those people up out of there because they teachers and then they still had teachers there. That is a problem.
Oh, okay, cool. So, one, I would like for you to produce me any evidence where the people who was on the jury.
Apologize first for saying that I gave misinformation. You didn't prove no misinformation.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I would like for you to submit in front of everybody the information and the evidence that states that people who are on the jury is indeed teachers. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I would like for you to submit to me why it is that not only did the prosecution, but also the defense were striking people, not based on their race, but based on their bias and based on their professional standing.
Because that's what they do. In every trial, especially, in every jury trial, the prosecution and the defense get what they call strikes. They automatically look at someone and say, I'm going to have to take you off the jury because of this. Maybe because of the zip code that you live in. It may be because of something that you said while you were being talked to. And I'm not sure the exact amount, but I'm sure someone can find out how many strikes that they get, or how many folks they can eliminate. If they start with such a jury pool of such and such, they already know they allotted them out from each team that they can strike without cause. We already know this. So you're not spinning a new narrative here. You're not talking about to people that don't know what you're trying to explain.
Even when the judge gave instructions. So you can't do that, can you? You can't do that, can you?
Yes, because it's
okay. See, I don't want. I know Black Hawk, Black and Brown. I shouldn't do this, but I am. So Corbin, Thunderhammer, you said no. The Republican Party today is still the same fighting slavery. Which Republican Party you're talking about? You talk about the Republican Party that's trying to shut down Social Security? Are you talking about the Republican Party that is protecting a known pedophile? You talk about the same Republican Party that don't want the Epstein files released? You talk about the same Republican Party that said there will be no new wars, but we're in one now? You talk about the same Republican Party that someone was on film taking $50,000 in cash from the FBI, but he didn't get any charges for it. We're talking about someone that was in Trump's cabinet, a Republican, that spent $230,000 on a video sitting on top of a horse. That we know that the insider trading is running rampant in the Republican Party. So what part of slavery? Isn't it the Republican Party that built Alligator Alcatraz?
You can't do that, can you? Yeah, you can't do that, can you? Because it's misinformation that you're putting out because it fits your narrative that he was not given a fair trial. Go ahead, Angry Man.
I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say, man.
As usual, because you're bitch ass, right? Bitch ass nigga. He wasn't gonna say nothing. He was just looking for an argument, and you couldn't find a place to quite get into it. Par for the course for you. You're a bitch ass nigga, Angry Man. That's just bottom line to it. You are a bitch ass nigga. And I don't mind using the word because I'm using in this tense when I'm talking to you, I'm using it correctly. You are an exact reputation of what you talk about. Now, Ozzy, he says everybody's crying that Karmello shouldn't be in jail. No, I didn't say that he shouldn't be in jail. So when you say everybody, it means that includes me. So I can tell you, no, so you can hear it from my own voice. I said the kid needs to be held accountable for what he did. And if that means some jail time for him, so be it. But I also said I think the 35 years was excessive. So if you want to call me out on that, then you're welcome to. But I never told you that I don't think that he should have been in jail. Never said that, sir.
Give a damn how hard you breathe. Your breathing don't scare me.
Well, fuck you.
I'm still waiting. So you can't argue with any type of intelligence or evidence. You can only argue from the racial perspective, right?
No, y'all are. And when he refused to engage in it, y'all kept trying to come back to it. So, Melanie, every time I see someone put this in the chat room that I'm in or any place else, whether I'm speaking or whether I'm listening, my question to you is the same. Who was the authoritative person there to tell Karmello Anthony to leave? Was it the other students that had no authority? They had no authority to tell Karmello to leave. Just like every other student that was at that activity that day, he had a right to be there. He was not on the in-school suspension, as a lot of folks have put out. He was actually physically competing that day. And because a bunch of kids walk up to you, Melanie, when you're in high school and tell you, don't sit at that lunch table, was you going to get up? I don't think so, Melanie, but thank you for coming in.
You just don't like that. I brought up plenty of things. I gave you the Batson challenge is probably what he could win the appeal with.
Absolutely, he can try. I agree with you. No, I agree. I'm agreeing with you. It's an interjection. Get out your emotional ass feelings. God damn, boy, I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead and say what you're saying.
No, Ozzy, I didn't say that he's a victim. But if you listen throughout the media, they both say both of the kids are victims. One is in jail, and the other one is gone from the earth. So they're both victims, according to them. But if you want to look at it in that way, according to the jury, if I have to speak at it in legal terms, which I will, according to the jury, Karmello Anthony was the perpetrator, not the victim, according to the jury. And that is what I have to live by, because I can't change the jury's outcome. Only the appellate system can do that. So really, in all actuality, my opinion of whether he was the aggressor or the victim really doesn't matter.
Oh, so you agree that I am using educated words? I'm not just using racial.
No,
this is insane because you keep trying to
yeah, because now that you had time to look it up, you could be educated.
That's the issue that I'm having. We're having a disrespectful conversation. Keep trying to build a premise of what I am.
Okay, Isaac, maybe you weren't here before, but I knew I was going to have to revisit this again because I knew someone was going to come in here and say, where all the rage on the black on black killing in blue cities. I'm turning a blind eye to that. Well, 1 second. Now, because I knew someone was going to bring this up more than once, I actually went to one of your favorite places, Grok, Chat GPT, or Gemini, and I asked them very questions. Okay, describe the difference between the racial crimes, interracial and interracial crimes.
Sure. So when we talk about interracial crime, we're referring to crimes where both the victim and the perpetrator are of the same race. Like when a black individual commits a crime against another black individual, or a white individual against another white individual. On the other hand, interracial crime involves individuals of different races. For example, that would be like a crime where the victim is white and the perpetrator is black, or vice versa. It's all about the racial makeup of the people involved.
So which crime is more prevalent, interracial or intraracial?
That's a great question, DJ. So generally speaking, most crimes tend to be interracial, meaning that they happen between people of the same race. This pattern shows up in many communities, not just one.
So that would negate the black on black crime moniker.
You're right on the money there, since most crimes do tend to be within the same race.
Okay, Ozzy, it makes no difference how many people are here, sir. If there was only one person here, that would not change my outcome. It would not change what I was speaking about. So the mere fact that you're here focusing on how many people is here tells me that what you're here for. You're here to be a detractor. Guess one of those 9 people are? You. And when you leave, there'll be 8. Ozzy. So don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. As a matter of fact, Ozzy, since you worried about how many people are here, let me make it one less. Okay, Ozzy? But before we do, because see, I try to have dialogue with you. When nothing else, you couldn't win at anything else. This is what you did.
No, I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on. Tell this sumbitch to walk the fuck out right now, or we done for the day. Go on. I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go.
That's what you normally have to do, folks. You have to get rid of them. You have to let them speak for as long as they can, and then sooner or later their true identity comes out to what they are. But anyway, since someone brought up the black on black crime thing, here we go.
Racial group overall, it's not unique to any one group. In other words, it's a pattern that shows up across all racial communities.
Give me a quick percentage on the difference, percentage amount between black on black crime, as they call it, and white on white crime.
So looking at the data from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, we see that the vast majority of violent crimes are indeed intraracial. For black victims, about 84% of violent crimes are committed by black offenders. And similarly, for white victims, the majority of offenders are also white. In terms of percentages, the numbers are quite close. Intraracial crime is the prevailing pattern for both groups. So that really does put the black on black crime label into perspective.
That really does put the black on black crime label in perspective. What's he mean by that? It makes it a moot point.
Exactly, DJ. It really does make it a moot point. When the data shows that this is a general pattern across all racial groups, it puts that whole black on black crime label into perspective. It really doesn't stand out as unique when you look at the bigger picture.
So why? It really doesn't stand out as unique when you look at the bigger picture. So don't come in here with the black on black crime thing anymore, because I got something ready for you. Crime is crime. Most criminals that commit crimes to the people that they're closest to. interracial crimes, meaning someone that looks like you. There's a small different percentage. A small percentage in black violent crime and white violent crime. One is at 84%. No, one is at 80 something percent, and the other one is at 80%. One is at 84% and one is at 80%. Now we can go back to what we were doing here.
Instead of us just, I don't do that to you. I'm
Why
just
don't-
addressing what you're saying with actual logic, and you are failing, and that's why you got to result to insults because you
Why
cannot
do-
match me intellectually,
why do
and it is okay. I
Karmello-
understand that. It is very difficult for people to say, "God damn it,
I mean, they
Ron,
can't
you
do it.
smarter than me," and it makes me upset that you whooping my ass in a verbal discourse. I
They
get it.
can't
It's
have-
me.
They can't have a damn conversation. This is the bullshit. All the antics and shit. I'm literally
I'm the one
trying
with
to
the
ask
antics?
a question right now, and you doing all this extra shit.
Yeah, but you're not pointing out the fact that he's interrupting every time. You're not pointing out the fact that he said I had misinformation and he didn't provide no situation where I gave misinformation. You are not pointing those things out. You only see when I do it because your man's getting his ass kicked, just like I be kicking your old ass.
So what's the point of the Boston first? What's the point? What's the point of the Boston versus
Like,
Kentucky?
are you trying to are you really trying to have a conversation, or are you just here to perform?
He's just here to perform, as always.
I'm really trying to understand, but since you're so funny, answer this question for me. Why does the Anthony family and Karmello even deserve your defense? Just answer that question for me.
Say it one more time, yeah.
Why does the Anthony family and Karmello deserve your defense? I'm not trying to be funny. It's a legitimate question.
They deserve it so we can start moving in the right direction as a collective to understand that we are in unfair positions and we have to protect ourselves because other communities are not willing to protect us.
Okay, cool. Because I'm just trying to get an understanding of that, right? Now, here's my question to you, Trey and Will. What is the percentage of black people that live in Frisco?
It's not a high percentage at all.
It's a low percentage.
Like 10 to 12%.
So he was tried in Frisco, right?
Correct.
Does their family live in Frisco?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So Sharon, the reason why I asked you why they deserve your defense, and you said as a collective, why would you be defending black people that left the black neighborhood to live in a white neighborhood?
You actually sat there all that time, scratched your head, sat back quietly to come up with that. That's the best thing that you could come up to ask him. Does that make any sense at all, folks? If I'm wrong, tell me what Angry Man just said. If someone tell me, did he make any sense at all? Any?
Because that's still my people. I still have empathy for that.
And that's all you needed to say, Sharon, because those are still my people. That's the only answer you needed to give. But watch the response that he get from this clown.
Really?
And if
pause right there. Pause right there. Stay right there. Will, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't these niggas do lives on a regular basis telling us black folk that left the hood that we sellouts, we ain't shit, and we ain't part of the collective?
All the fucking time.
So how the fuck is Karmello and his family part of the collective when they put themselves in this goofy situation by living in Frisco instead of living in damn Dallas?
And so
according to your logic just now, what you said, Angry Man, because the Anthony family wanted a better life, the only place they should have been able to look for a better life is in a community that was dominated with black people. Let it make sense. And that makes them less blacker because they decided to move into a community where it was mostly white. I bet now, if you go back and ask the Karmello Anthony family if they had to do all over it again, would they move into that neighborhood? Probably not. I was wondering when someone was going to say something about that ABT.
That don't have no point for me.
No, nigga, this is what usually happens. You getting your ass whooped because you can't answer these damn questions.
Because my question is because they left the hood and they live in Frisco. No, my question is so since they left the hood.
That part, DJ Torch. The word scrag, as I know it, came from who? How many streams did Angry Man do on Jada Pickett? How many streams did he do on Meg Thee Stallion? How many streams did he do on what's the girl that got hugged by Usher on stage? How many streams did he do about how black women are the scum of the earth? Out of his own mouth, not out of mine. But now you up here on the nigga defense team? Miss me with that. Get the fuck up out of here.
Since they left the hood. No, I want to hear you say it. Since they left the hood and moved to Frisco, they coons. Say it. Say it.
I don't know why you want me to
say it. I don't understand why you won't say it.
He can't because they've got caught up in a race situation.
Stop telling me what. Stop telling me. Listen, stop being disrespectful and tell me what the fuck I say and think. You dumb motherfucker.
Hey there, Mahogany Roots. How you doing? What's up, my home girl? My sister up off in the building. Y'all pay homage to my sister now. Hey, good to see you. We got some good weather out there today, don't we? Nice weather here in the click. Appreciate you joining me.
You dumb motherfucker. You built a fucking career. You built a fucking career of calling black men and black women who leave the neighborhood coons, and yet you want to defend this little nigga. No, you bitch ass nigga. You got caught up in the fucking trap. Please tell me, because now, Shawan, apparently you not a nigga either, right? Because you ain't even in the fucking America, nigga.
Hold on. So
you ain't in the you cold like the rest of us. Welcome to the tribe, my nigga.
So what I'm saying is this: you are trying to make me argue a point that
stupid
I never
ass
put
nigga.
Out. You so dumb. I don't argue that point. I don't call somebody
all the fucking time you do.
I do not. So you're a liar.
All the fucking time you do.
If you are saying that I do that all the time,
I call y'all goofy niggas coons.
You
are. He hear his voice out the back. I do. And I do too. I call y'all niggas goofy. I don't know why Sharon is backing down from that, because I do. I call y'all niggas worse than that. And I'm using, notice throughout this stream, I didn't use that word until they started using it. So now that I know that y'all acting niggerish, I can get down in the nigger bowl with y'all. All right. I call you niggas because that's how some of y'all act. All this screaming and yelling. You're talking about a subject. The host, I guess he trained the truth teller, sitting up there with red hair and with damn there with no shirt on. And y'all running around and arguing like a bunch of goddamn girls. Maybe camming up, to be quite honest with y'all, wasn't the best idea for YouTube. Camming up is something that a whole lot of y'all should not do. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. A whole lot of y'all should stay the fuck off the camera. I don't know, Trey. I ain't got no disrespect by meaning this, but if I was you, brother, I wouldn't go to Atlanta and ask for a ride at Little 5 Points. That's all I'm saying.
So Taz,
I'll wait till you get the chance to get to me.
Sharon ain't saying anything of substance. Fuck Sharon. Taz, I'm asking you. Sharon, you ain't saying anything of substance. Shut the fuck up. Sharon, you trying to have something that's added to the argument, my nigga. You just emotional. It's okay. It's all right. We understand. The pussy is falling out. You just don't want to answer the question. Is Karmello and his family goons and sellouts?
I'm attempting to answer the question, but
so just answer it and then elaborate. Is Karmello and his family sellouts? Is they coons?
Talking to me right now. I'm trying to talk.
No, they're not coons, Sel. I can answer the question for you. No, they're not. They're not coons. They're not sellouts for wanting a better life. Just like Lana just said, all of us might live in there. Listen, where I live right where I'm at right now, I can probably look out the front window, the back window, or the side window and see some white folks. If I go outside and walk outside or walk around the block, I'm probably going to see some white folks. He let ABT. If any of y'all want to hit the link, you're welcome to. That's the link right there. Well, listen, let me just go ahead and say this. For every crime that you can bring here that was commensurated or perpetrated by a black person, I could go do the same. That's not the problem. The problem is crime itself. A wharf. And I don't think the two people that arrest their souls, I don't think they really care about what color the person was that did them in. The only thing that you should have brought up to me was, show me the trial. Show me that they got life. Show me that they're going to be in jail for the rest of their lives. Because both of us can go find instances of other, again with the air quotes, races committing horrific things against other races. Can't we? You went to June 3rd. I could probably go to June 8th. As a matter of fact, I did earlier, June 7th. White man with nothing to do decided to drive through a neighborhood, a black family having a family reunion. Shouted out racial epithets, went home, got his long rifle, and came back and started shooting up the place. A war? Did you not see that one? I did. Did you not see that? I did.
Answer first and then elaborate.
Be quiet, please. I'm asking you so I can communicate. Thank you. Shut the fuck up. And so now, that was never my argument. So that premise that you did, Angry Man, it has nothing to do with me at all. So that young man, if my kid was on trial, I would want black folks to have some type of empathy and want to fight with me to say, hey, look at the character of that kid. And so this way we can get him a fair trial. All I'm saying is that shut the fuck up.
If you're making the argument that white folks are racist and unfair, why would
because you're not answering the question.
If you are making the argument that white folks are racist and unfair, you cannot ignore the fact that this black family moved to a predominantly white community, which put them in this goofy position in the first place.
Okay, that's fine. I agree. It put them in a position that's irrelevant to me. Wanted to fight for a fair trial for the young man. Yes, they put themselves in that position. Yes, they hired the all-white jury. Yes, all those things was goofy and stupid, but that still have nothing to do with me want to fight for the young man to have a fair trial. You
So it doesn't
goofball.
disqualify their blackness, right?
I can't stand you graham crackers.
So it does.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Even though they moved to this predominantly white community, it does not disqualify their blackness, and they still deserve the defense of the black community. Correct?
Correct.
I bet not ever hear your motherfucking ass talk no shit about nobody black conservative talking about they done moved out the hood. You bet not ever say it again.
It's not true. Can you absolutely believe that all that hot wind and hot ball and hot breathed, cigar smelling, pot belly, 3 sandwich eating, no content having motherfucker just said? Did any of that make sense? Your argument made no sense. None. What's up there, Murray Gibson? Who's Rudy? Who Rudy is? He was offsides. And then I was about to say, wait a minute. This is a man that's up here screaming blackness, but using the moniker of Beano Nation. Let that sink in for a minute. Beano Nation, black in name only. Now you up here trying to cape for black folks who decide that, hey, I don't want to live around other black folks. I don't consider someone that don't want to live, as they say in the hood, a sellout. I've never lived in the hood, folks. I want y'all to hear this. I have never lived in the hood. What's up, Rudy? I don't know why they mentioned your name. Rudy said you was offsides. What you was offsides about? But I've never lived in the hood. So I don't have the experience of living in the hood. I've always lived, as they say, in the country. I've always lived in some point in time when I was in the Marine Corps and when I was married, I lived in an apartment. But for the most part of my life, I've always lived in a neighborhood, in a house. I've lived in a house. I've never lived in the hood. So what is the hood? And if someone is wanting to get out the hood, if the hood is so bad, why would I think somebody would lose their blackness by wanting to leave the hood? We're talking about you conservative, you Republican conservatives, you MAGA conservatives that repeat these talking points. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the mother and the father that want a better life for their children, because I did. That's one of the reasons why I left the West Coast. That's one of the reasons why I left San Francisco and the Vallejo, because I didn't want my son to grow up around that atmosphere. That's one of the main reasons why I left. Am I a sellout? And any of us that's been to Oakland, any of us that's been to San Francisco, and any of us that's been to Vallejo, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not shitting on the area, but for me, raising children, I wouldn't want to raise my child there. I see why someone says, Rudy, I see why someone says you was out of bounds. You're not disrespectful, so I'm not going to put you up, but I want you to answer this question, Rudy. How is MAGA winning without stealing? Do you think the MAGA folks right now is playing on a level playing field? And the number one MAGA spokesman, remember, that was all up in Trump's ass a couple of years ago. Why is Marjorie Taylor Greene all of a sudden saying, nah, y'all ain't right? Why is that? So what are you winning? What is MAGA winning? Democrats selling their votes. Selling their votes to who? Rudy? See, when you come to Rudy, do you want to, since you're right here, do you want me to drop the link so you can come up here and say that? Do you want to give me proof positive, any account of Democrats buying or selling votes? We do have the Republicans saying that. Matter of fact, we had the head Republican saying that all I need was 1,180 votes. That was Trump saying that. That's not true. If you look at the last election, only 20%, and in some cases 15% of black men and women of voting age are voting Republican. Sir, Rudy, it's not true. How could that be true? You can just go at look at the last election result and know that was a farce, Rudy.
It's not your address, it's your ideology. It ain't your address. You can move when you want to move.
Don't try to save him, Taz. Don't try to save him, Taz.
I'll be quiet. All right.
No, don't do that.
Sharon, you already got bitched out. Go on mute, Sharon. Sharon, don't try to buck up because Taz want to save you. Go back on mute, bitch. You be all right. You be all right because your ass couldn't answer the question. When black people move out the hood, they ain't black no more. So why the fuck are you stepping up in defense for Karmello and his family? Don't worry about it. We already asked you for 20 minutes and you couldn't fucking answer. So don't worry about it. Stay quiet. Taz is talking. Taz, question for you.
I tell you what, Sharon. I tell you what. You can say what you want to say, but that's one hell of a point. Your ass, you wasn't ready for that, was you, nigga? You wasn't ready for that, was you, nigga? Yeah, because you were so caught up in the race, you were so caught up in the social justice race warrior shit, you didn't even think about that shit, did you, nigga?
Of course he didn't. It left his mind.
What? I don't think about lies. The lies that y'all tell, I don't think about them. No.
Hey, Trey, let me ask you a question.
I don't think about the lies that you tell. You know, like for example, you putting Beijing on your face, to lie about the greatness in your face. I don't think about that. The fact that you gotta wear goddamn baseball hat is so black.
So what you're saying is, Angry Man, there's no racial injustice in Dallas. If the Anthony family would have moved to Dallas instead of Frisco, all would have been well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't live in Dallas, but somebody tell me if anyone knows, what is the population breakdown? I do believe Dallas has a lot of Latinos in that community. The Dallas-Fort Worth area has a lot of Latinos in that community. I could be wrong, but I don't think in Dallas, white folks are the majority there. I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. Yeah, and I was listening to Taz yesterday too, El Boogie, when a young lady, I think her name was YN Bella, was up there. And she was roasting them niggas. And you could tell she was a young woman, but you could also tell she was an educated woman. And that was one of the questions she asked. So wait, black people are not supposed to, right. They're only supposed to stay in the hood. They don't want to do better. Stay in the hood. Perpetuate the cycle of staying in the hood. Texas emphatically is one of the most racist states in the union. It absolutely is. Not from my perspective, not from your perspective, El Boogie, but from the FBI, the overall Crime and Statistic Bureau. A lot of these right-wing supremacist groups come out of Texas. That's not me saying it, that's them. What you talking about, Rudy? Huh? Only Democrats in Texas?
Hide your boldness. I don't think about none of the lies you talk about.
Trey, if this would have happened in Dallas, would there have been some black people on that jury?
Hey, I gotta go. Hey, both of y'all stop ducking the smoke. Don't be afraid when I open up a panel. Stop being little bitches and hit the link. Just
Do me a favor, Sharon. I want you to make something. Sharon, don't leave. Sharon, I need you to watch something. No, that's just Sharon. Bitch, nigga, when you call those coons then, look at the fucking timestamp, nigga. Year, bitch, nigga. What are you talking about, Sharon? This is from a fucking year ago. April 19th, 2025. That's what I'm saying. You can't say I can't pull up a clip because when you got destroyed on this stream, just like you get destroyed on this stream now, you still bitched up, bitch nigga. Thank you for staying. See you later, Sharon. Ass nigga. Ass nigga, you're not even in the.
It is what it is, nigga.
All respectively.
If I believe correctly, Anton is sitting at 1 million subs on YouTube. That's awesome. Angry Man's at some point will be at 1 million subs, which is awesome. But guess what? Outside of YouTube, nobody knows who the fuck you guys are.
See,
hey, Sharon, give Tom Bridges his shirt back, nigga.
It's gonna happen one of these days too. Get these black man dicks out your mouth,
hey,
bro.
Sharon, give Tom Bridges his shirt back, nigga.
I will.
Bye, Sharon. Have a good night.
All right, have a good night. Stop being scary to hit my goddamn link. I ain't never scared.
I don't fuck with you. Hey, the day you start correcting your co-host, I'll hit your link.
Yeah, nigga.
Stop letting your co-host.
That sound like yeah. Don't that sound like the scene from Coming to America? Not Come Trading Places. Yeah. Where's your limo, mister? Yeah. You grown ass fucking 40-something-year-old men acting like this. Yeah. Don't come back. Yeah. Grown ass men. Now, during the course of this conversation that y'all was supposed to be having about race and how it affected communities, what did y'all accomplish? All I heard was a bunch of cat calling and name calling. Bitch assness from left to right. Bitch assness to the right of me. Bitch assness to the left of me. Bitch assness into the middle. Until finally Taz comes on and he challenges y'all two niggas. But one thing I do notice that y'all don't have the same smoke for Taz that y'all have for Sharon. I'm wondering why. I know why.
Don't disrespect your white wife.
Had to throw that in.
Pussy. Taz, what up, though? I do this. Y'all can't play these games with me. I got receipts on top of receipts on top of receipts. I ain't playing with you niggas no more. Fuck y'all.
Hey.
Now, Sharon, all I'm going to say to you is it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. On several of your panels, I've told you about this, that these guys are not there to be your friend. They're there to collect information on you. Any mistakes or anything that you have that they could use up against you, they have saved in their archives. So any misstep that you have or any time that you say something that they can pull up and say, see, you're just like us. Are you doing this for us the clicks and the views? Are they wrong when they pull up receipts like that?
But Will, I guarantee
Receipts of
you,
what?
out of all these niggas talking this shit, nobody even thought about that shit.
Thought about what? Try to make some bad points with me.
Taz gonna try to pretend like. So Taz, let me ask you a question, bro. So are you gonna honestly pretend that culturally in the black community, niggas don't get the you ain't black no more, you a sellout label the moment they move out of the hood and move to a predominantly white community?
There's an assumption that those people don't like us or don't fuck with us no more. And because a lot of them have done it, that's why there's that assumption. But it ain't because you moved. It's because of the mentality you pick up when you're not there anymore.
That's the point. It's what you say and it's what your actions. You become that uppity Negro, as they say, that you think that you are better than us, like the Byron Donalds, like the Tim Scotts, like the Angry Mans, like what's another one? The Jason Whitlocks. Those are the folks that we're talking about. If you don't act like them, hey there, Sexy Red, how you doing? If you don't act like them, then we would not call you that. We're talking about the Jason Whitlocks. We're talking about the Stephen A. Smiths. And at one point in time, we was even talking about the Ice-T, because Ice-T said for his own self, I'm never living in the hood because y'all niggas don't know how to act. But I don't hear y'all calling out Ice-T for that. And he said that long before y'all niggas was on the internet.
Let me ask you this. Fair enough. Let me ask you this though. Do we act on that assumption?
Yes, you do.
No. Because niggas come from the suburbs every day and come hang in the hood. Niggas come from the suburbs and kick it around niggas in the hood like they belong every day. There's never been a time when you can't come from other parts of town and come to the hood. What we talking about?
Is he wrong? Is Taz wrong in that? Don't y'all go to the hood to get your favorite barbecue? Don't y'all go to the hood to go run into your favorite club because you know the clubs on the uppity side of town is bougie and you don't really want to go there? If you really want to have a good time, trust me, I'm in this business. Like my man Mel Waiter said, the best time that I ever had was a hole in the wall. So you don't tell me that folks that make it out of the hood don't come back to the hood to either visit people, hang out, party, or sometimes work. I don't either. Let me see. Let me make sure. I'll just call you Mag and Ultra. I don't know any too many brothers either. I've called them out by names. I'll call out the Stephen A. Smiths. I'll call out the Byron Donalds. I'll call them out, but I don't know too many brothers personally in my life that's going on to do great things, and they don't speak to me. They treat me differently.
So when black people leave the hood and they go out to the suburb, there's an assumption that they don't fuck with the hood no more just because they moved. But if they keep the ideology when they go to the when they take the blackness or take the hood mentality with them to the suburb, they still consider black.
It ain't necessarily got to be the hood mentality. It's the fact that you are a black person. I don't know. We're not talking about a hood mentality. We're talking about the understanding you're black in America.
Right. So I think skin color alone makes the identity very, very obvious, right?
No, because again, the identity doesn't become obvious until you're placed in a position where the identity is challenged.
So we understand that race is a social construct, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so basically what you're telling me is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, so socially, what the black race is doing, well, what the hood is doing is, if you leave the hood and you start acting, well, what's that word? Bourgeoisie. If you start acting bougie, you're not considered black no more, right?
That word existed before the hood.
Okay, so I'm just using it as a quick little summarization. That's the understanding, right?
Well, that's the representation of people who try to be white. Again, it's about an ideological difference. It's not about what you have or where you live. It's the ideological difference of you being better than us because now you next to some white folks.
Now let me ask you.
It's me.
hold on for a second, Taz, because you goalpost moving and you be
no.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know as well as I do that when this mentality first came about, we're talking about 60s and 70s. We're talking about 70s when black people were able to actually live in other neighborhoods other than black neighborhoods. You know as well as I do that when black folk that got better paying jobs and better
I don't know what neighborhood you're talking about in the 60s and 70s, but that's when redlining was at its premium in the 60s and 70s, to where that's what really created the hoods, the ghettos, the redlining that pushed black folks to live in certain areas. So what is he talking about? The 60s was your example? Are you kidding me, Angry Man? The 60s? Where black people couldn't live in certain places? They couldn't and didn't have a choice.
Opportunities, finally had the opportunity to move into white neighborhoods, they were immediately viewed as persona non grata.
No,
immediately.
No, it's how they treat other black people.
Come on, bro. Why are you doing this?
Because it's the truth. It's the truth.
So I'm trying to understand how it is that black people disassociate or demean other black people just because they move to a white neighborhood. Am I misunderstanding what you're saying?
Look, check this out, Will. They even did it.
So that's actually what you did. You can go back into your YouTube archives and see the fact that you did sell out. That's exactly what you did. When you got on the Trump train, you sold out. Did you move out your neighborhood? But when you got on the Trump train, you sold out. Angry Man, when you got on the Trump train, you sold out. That's who I'm talking to. That's who Sharon is talking to. And that's who Taz is talking to. It's not the fact that you left the hood. It's what you did after you left the hood. That's what we're talking about.
Episode about this shit on the Boondocks. When them niggas, when granddad's freaking homeboy died and they went back to the hood. And we know them niggas still, like Huey and Riley still act hood. When they went back to the hood, what did Huey's homeboy say? Take your punk ass back to Woodcrest with the rest of the white folk. Like, let's be real. Like, why y'all?
Right. No, they do shit if we don't on YouTube.
If we don't see you
on YouTube,
if we don't see you and you don't be out here, don't pop out now for this funeral and think it's all love. Good to see you. Now get your bitch ass back out there with the white.
Exactly.
Prove the point.
Wait, what do you mean exactly? Wait, don't try to switch it like I said something to benefit you. You don't fuck with us. You don't fuck with us. Just because you came out here today, now suddenly you fuck with us.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
Who you think you fooling, nigga?
But here, Taz.
And he's absolutely right. Y'all don't fuck with us. You said, I heard you say that you don't want to live around black folks. Angry Man, I've heard you say you don't want to live around black folks. I've heard you say all of that. Now, all of a sudden, y'all up here at the I want to live around black folks, the divorce team. Get the fuck out of here.
The problem is just because
don't try that shit with me. This me. It ain't neither one of you niggas that's intellectually. Don't claim no fucking victory with me, nigga.
No, you switched it. You switched it from
what?
You switched it from because what you originally said is it's your mentality and how you act.
Yes, and if we don't see you, how do we know your mentality? If we don't see you, if you stop coming around, if you don't fuck with us no more.
No, because just because a nigga don't come back to the hood don't mean he stopped acting black.
Facts.
You switched
it.
You're switching it.
Does.
No, it doesn't.
You switch
it does.
No, you're switching it. So
I'm not switching anything. I'm making sure you understand. You going off a Boondocks episode.
Hold on, Taz. You don't see some. Taz, hold on.
The Boondocks episode. I'm using reality.
Taz, hold on. If you don't see somebody, how you know what their mentality? Oh my God, go ahead, read your money.
Nah, you good. Let me get super chat real quick. Icon with the $2. He said, if black men had the power, would we do better? Y'all answer that.
You said if
Yeah, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk in this motherfucker right now. If we had the power, of course we'd be doing better. Of course, if the power dynamics was shifted, that the 13% of the population ran 60% of the 80% of the population, of course we'd be doing better. That's a dumb question. Next time y'all want to throw away money like that, go over to Autism Speaks or the Cancer Society or something like that, and just drop that $2 over there. Stop wasting your money on stupid shit like this.
Black man had all the power. Would we do better?
Yeah.
Was that a question to us or questions?
Nah, that's to y'all. To one of y'all.
Hell no.
No, hell no, not with this mentality.
No, not with this mentality.
We ain't ready for that shit.
So the problem is that there's
I was saying, I don't know why
maybe in a couple hundred years. Maybe in a couple hundred years after we done got it all out of our system, but
Can I make this power? Wait, hold on. Can I make this point before we move forward? So the problem is there's a predisposed position that just because we don't see you, ergo you leaving the hood, that you don't identify with us because your ideology is different. My thing is, how do you know a person's ideology if you don't see them?
Because we can see. That's because, let me answer that, test. Because right now, the only reason I know your ideology, I know your angry man's ideology, because y'all put it on the screen for us. We don't have to guess at what y'all thinking anymore. We've heard y'all saying that you don't want to be in black neighborhoods. We've heard you saying the moniker, using the moniker Beano Nation. So if I'm just talking to you folks, that's easy for me to answer that I know where y'all coming from. That's why we don't consider y'all as part of the collective anymore. If there is such a thing as the collective, you're not invited to the barbecue anymore because you already told us that you don't want to be here. Ain't that right, Cassandra? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. They already told us they don't want to be around us. And just because you pop up because there's a event or something happens that you want to say, and let me go show my face, we're going to remind you that, hey, when the shit was thick, like we say down here in the South, we say this to the Northern brothers that talk shit. All the scared niggas went up north. When the shit hit the fan, all the scared niggas went up north. Meaning, y'all left the real brothers down here to fight these supremacists. The rest of y'all went up north. They're coming for the free food? What free food?
That's the point. So again, I don't know.
I know y'all not. I get what you're saying, George. They're coming for the free food at the barbecue after they ain't been around for all years and years and years. Nicholas, did you really come? What's this? Facts 572. Did you really come in here and say this now? Black supremacy is the biggest threat to our world and our democracy. Maybe you ain't been watching TV. Maybe you ain't seen what Trump and his cronies been doing. Maybe you don't know about the war that Trump created over there. Maybe you don't know about none of that. Show me what blackface is on that. Now, be respectful, Nick, when you're in here, or you know what you're going to get put out.
But be quiet when I'm talking, bro, unless you want to send it up. Like, for real, I listen to you, listen to me, let's just have a conversation.
Go ahead, take your time.
I'm telling you just a simple point. If you stop coming around and we don't see you no more, it's obvious you don't fuck with us no more. It's just that simple.
Okay.
Cool.
That's so. Here's the thing. When you said that, I understood what you meant when you said that. But what I'm challenging about that is the fact that just because a person is not in proximity to you, that does not necessarily mean they don't rock with the race anymore. That may mean he may not rock with you individually, or he may not rock with certain people in that neighborhood, or he may even be not coming to that neighborhood because he don't want to get caught up in some bullshit. It doesn't necessarily mean he don't rock with black people no more. And that's the reason why I said when you was like, yo, if the person moves out, that doesn't mean
you're still missing the point. The point of what Sharon was saying and what I'm saying and everybody's saying, y'all told us that you didn't want to fuck with the black neighborhood. It's not everybody that leaves the black hood that does better for themselves, that want a better life for themselves, forgets where they came from. You guys are acting like because you don't live in the hood that you can't do for the hood. And you can. I know, again, if the roles was reversed and if black people was in power, I guarantee you there'd be universal health care for everybody. I do believe if black people was in power, everyone would be able in this country would be able to go to college for free.
Necessarily that they mentality change. But now what you're saying is if the person isn't in proximity, meaning if they don't come around and check niggas and see how niggas doing, that must mean obviously that they mentality change. I don't agree with that.
We got to remember where I started at was assumption.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
But there's an assumption that because you don't come around, there's an assumption because you move, there's an assumption because we don't see you.
Which is that's time. Do we act on it? Do we when you
sure folks act on it? Nigga, where you been? I ain't seen you. Must want something. I ain't seen you the month of Sundays. Where you think all those sayings come from, angry man? Only time you come around here is when you need something. Only time I see you is when there's a tragedy. Of course. The assumption is you don't need us as a community or a collective until something happens to you. Then you want to come crawling your ass back, i.e., you got your black card back, didn't you, Stephen A. Smith? You got your black card back, OJ. And you two fellas gonna get your black card eventually, too. Ooh, y'all hear that thunder out there? And I'm gonna have to shut this down here a little bit. Storm riding up our ass here in the Carolinas. I just talked about good weather, and damn it, here it is. Bad weather.
Said that, I said, but Taz, do we act on that assumption? And what you just said confirms that we act on that assumption.
I don't
If you
think
haven't
everybody
come
does.
around, the assumption we make is that you don't mess with us anymore. So when you finally do come around, you gonna hear that shit, which is us acting on it.
Right.
Which is us trying to get confirmation.
Right.
Why are you back around here? Why are you here?
So mistreat people based off an assumption. That's my question. It's a legitimate question.
But you should.
I wouldn't say mistreat. I would say people like to come and attach themselves to us to use us. So we don't know why you're there.
Got you. But if I left from there, you should know who I am, right?
No, Black Hawk, this anger man, this is one guy that will never set foot on a panel of mine. We have nothing in common. We have nothing to agree on. Like I said, I don't have anything personal against Cell or anybody else up here. It's a disagreement that I have. But for some reason, from angry man, and I don't mind saying this, that nigga chaps my ass.
No, but see, here's the problem.
No, we don't know who you are because you ain't been back.
So just randomly attacking people. You said, wait, hold on. Say that part again.
Randomly attacking. What do you mean randomly?
No. Say that part that you just said. I want to respond to what you said.
I don't know.
You said because you left. You said because you left from here.
Yes, because we don't know you.
We don't know you.
But I left from there. You knew me. You knew me when I was there.
Right, but we don't know you now.
Yeah,
10, 15 years pass and you come back to the hood for the first time. It shouldn't be strange that somebody like, damn, what this nigga doing around?
Gotcha, and I'm glad that you said that.
Rudy. Listen here. Democratic voters are too stupid to realize they are the new slaves. Well, Rudy, I've listened to you. I've read your comments enough.
No, I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on. Tell this sumbitch to walk the fuck out right now. Are we done for the day? Go on. I'm sorry. Somebody trying to talk to me while I'm working? Go.
See, the thing about it is, it makes a difference for you folks, for folks like Angry Man and others that are always harping on subcount. They will let people come into their chat rooms or their panels and disrespect them. because they like the sub count. They want people to say, hey, look at this, look at it, look at all these people that are listening to me. I could give a fuck less. If 300 of y'all was in here and all 300 of you was in here disrespecting me, I'd put all 300 of y'all out.
So now let's go back to why we initially even got here. So the Anthony family, they left the hood and they moved into Frisco, where's a majority white dominant neighborhood, right? Where's a middle class neighborhood, right? So the assumption is, if you have this assumption about black conservatives or black people who leave the hood, and now we got questions about why the fuck you come back around here, because y'all don't fuck with us, because we don't know who y'all is. Why is there such a defense for this black family that left the hood and moved into a suburban white neighborhood, and there's automatic defense for them? But when it comes to black conservatives or just black people who move out the hood, you don't know who we is.
No,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So just so it's clear, because I know y'all not that bright, because you are concerned.
And again, you're absolutely right there, D Keys. Dope boys do move their families out the hood. Have y'all ever watched the episode of The Sopranos? Where did the Sopranos live? Where did the main family live? Did they live in the hood where they did their business, or did they live in some big ritzy house somewhere that they had the driveway was damn near a mile long? Al Pacino, Scarface, where did he live once he settled down and got money off the coast? What did he not live in this big mansion, or was he still out there slinging hash? I'm sorry, but he does. Some bitch. What the fuck out? Yeah, he does though, Zahar. He really does chap my ass. And for all of y'all that ever had a chap ass before, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's quite uncomfortable. You never forget it. Once you had it, you never forget it.
Conservatives. So just so it's clear, I don't care where you move to. If somebody do something to you,
you know how you just told that nigga, you know how you just told that nigga, yo, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
This is that bitch man.
I don't mind it going up though.
I'm throwing fucking
shots. Is that what you want to do?
Want to have a conversation?
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, well, he don't want to have a conversation. He just want to throw shots.
We can do whatever.
I don't have to throw shots. I'm just having a little fun. I did it, but my nigga, don't raise your voice.
Okay, well, so here's the thing, Taz. Here's the thing, Taz. Earlier you said don't throw shots. Let's have a conversation. No, Taz.
So that's how y'all two niggas work. Y'all work a tag team, screaming over each other at the person that you're screaming at. So that's how y'all do it. You want to act calm, or y'all playing good cop, bad cop for a minute. Let me talk to him, angry man. No, I got him this time, Sal. Let's see if we can put him in this trick bag to where both of us can jump on him at the same time. Meanwhile, what is he doing? Just like Sharon did.
Oh, you said, Taz, you said don't throw shots. Let's just have a conversation. And now you're throwing shots.
Okay. All right. I'll take it.
So here's the thing. When it comes to the better question to ask, Will, is this: if the Anthony family moved to Frisco, which is predominantly white, and they haven't went back to the hood, the question is, the better question isn't why are the niggas defending them? The better question is, why is the Anthony family expecting niggas to defend them?
I'm trying to understand y'all argument, because if this was Karmello's dad or mom, you might have an argument. But because we're talking about the 17-year-old boy, going back to the hood or any of that is irrelevant. We're talking about a kid.
Yeah. We're talking about a kid that didn't have a choice to where his parents decided to move. Did either one of y'all thought of that? You're so quick to want to throw out scenarios, but I don't think you think through your scenarios before you come out your mouth. Angry man, especially you. You always think you have these mic drop moments, and actually, you're just showing how stupid you really are. Now, I don't understand for the life of me how you have 2 followers, much less the ones that you bought. Yeah, we know that's the store-bought store over there. We know that. Or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be on Trey the Truth Teller. You wouldn't be over there on fucking around with Sharon or Cellulite or anybody else if your podcast was doing that great. You would be like a Tasha TKO or like what's the other Tasha name? You would be like one of those ladies. That's all they do is their content. They don't really jump around other folks' streams. But you, no disrespect to my man Chaos, but both of y'all have not met a link that y'all don't like. At least when Chaos comes up on the stream, he kind of sticks to the conversation. He may agree or disagree with you, but you, nigga, good Lord, have mercy.
This is insane.
So let me understand this.
What's insane about it, Goofy?
Let me understand.
Man, Taz, eat a dick, nigga. You know a nigga ain't scared of
I'm
your
just
fuck
saying,
ass.
bro, don't do the extra
You know I
shit.
know who you is, nigga. Don't try that hard
You
shit.
know who I am. Yes,
Yeah,
Shannon
I know who the
Allen. I
fuck
live
you
in
is,
Las
nigga.
Vegas. You know who
Yeah,
I am, and
nigga,
you
I
ain't
know
did
who
shit
you is,
yet.
nigga.
And you ain't did a motherfucking thing,
nigga,
bitch.
this nigga, you they did
What
shit
the
to
fuck you
me
talking
either.
about? But the fuck, I don't know who you
Nigga,
is.
Now, this nigga here, with his head down, been quiet this whole time. And the first time he opens out this mouth was to tell somebody to eat a tallywhacker. Let that make sense. Eat a tallywhacker.
This shit for years.
I don't know
man.
you.
You a soft hoe ass
I
nigga.
don't know
I've
you.
been doing
Who
this
are
shit
you?
for years, dog.
Who
You've been
are
doing
you?
this shit for years.
Who are you?
Don't worry about it then. But I know you.
Right. I know you do. Bitch,
I know
everybody
you a
know
hoe
me.
ass nigga.
Everybody know
You do
me.
all that yelling, man. You a
That's the
soft
difference,
hoe
nigga.
ass nigga.
Get up
You
with
do
me. I
all
don't even know
that
you.
yelling.
I don't even know you. Get up with me,
You so
nigga.
soft. You so soft.
So get up with me. I don't even know you. Just get up with me.
Just think
Bitch
that
ass nigga.
conversation. You a bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga.
Nobody's talking to you. You
I wasn't
chimed
even talking
in.
to you.
Literally, nobody's
I wasn't
talking
even
to you.
talking to you. I wasn't
You
even talking to
chimed
you.
in. The
And
fuck?
I can time in, fuck ass nigga.
So what you got to say?
The fuck wrong with this bitch ass nigga?
We
Oh, mind reading
listening.
ass. This nigga
We
over here
listening.
trying to read. He trying to read everybody's mind.
We listening.
We assume.
And that's what it is, folks. That's what it is. When your heroes are getting their ass whipped, sooner or later, somebody will try and swoop in to say, let me save you. Let me help you out. Let me just put up a distraction so you guys can get y'all shit together. Let me fuck with Taz for a minute so y'all can get y'all shit together. I ain't got to worry about it. But see, that's why I don't go to them panels over there. That's why I don't hang out in them YouTube streets anymore. Because like that, you never know who you're gonna run into. Motherfucker quiet on the panel all this time. And the first time he open up his mouth, he either wanting a dick in it or he wants you to put somebody's dick in his mouth. I always want to use the word pause. You know, wonder why you as y'all call yourself YNs and y'all niggas, y'all wondered why y'all got to use the word pause. Because y'all exhibit the traits of female, of feminine ass men. That's why. With your skinny jeans and your drawers showing. That's why y'all got to use the word pause now. Because, and when I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s, that shit wasn't in existence. That's why y'all got to use the word pause, because your drawers is showing. Because you're always offering up your tallywhacker to some other man. Men don't do that. Grown men don't tell another grown man, stuck my tallywhacker and don't mean it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to get out of here. It looked like this storm about to raise up on me here pretty good. I thank y'all very much for hanging out with me for this past couple of 3 hours and some change or whatever. I got something more interesting coming up. I'm going to get away from the loose niggas. I've been hearing a lot of conversation going around about relationships. And it seems to me y'all focusing on the wrong type women. Seems to me the majority of the conversations that I've been hearing in the YouTube streets have been focusing on these old niggas chasing these young women. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Candy Cane, Lane, and ABT, and Shar. Let me see. And there was one other lady, one or two. And hey, Sugars, Genesis. When I kick this panel up, I'd like you four ladies to join me on the panel. And you'll see why. You'll see why I want you up there. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be safe. Watch your 3, your 6, your 9. If you're into jazz, got a great 4-hour jazz show for you tonight. Jeff D with the JDCD playing funk fusion, smooth jazz, and smooth R&B to the midnight hour. So y'all going over, as they always want to say, black owned. Okay, I have a black owned network. So y'all go over there and support. It's called Classic R&B Jams. Just got to go over there, click on once or twice. That'll help my algorithm to put me up at the top of all these other algorithms. All right, so just click on. You ain't got to listen long. Just show your place. All right. So with that, appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Look, all you motherfuckers been snitching for him and shit. Now you standing up in here and goddamn it talking about preacher. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that. I'm gonna shoot your ass too, motherfucker. Keep on. You gonna get shot too, nigga. You gonna get shot. God bless the fool, goddammit. God bless the fool. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna end this goddamn thing. Look, where's that goddamn money bowl at? Who got that money bowl? We taking that money right now before you leave this bitch. We ain't leaving out here for free, motherfucker. Yeah. Y'all know the motherfucker ain't no good. You want, look,